to you. It is Friday, the 8th of November 2013. Thank you so very much for joining us on Morning Express. We wind up the week together. I'm Sophia Wanuna. As I said, this is Morning Express. Today we don't have a question of the day, but keeping with Friday, it's a relaxed day. Would like you to send us your nickname. Do you have a nickname? Did you have a nickname in school? Send it in. I'll read them out on air as we go along, and I'll also tell you what my nickname was. We have a great show lined up for you. We'll be talking to a jazz maestro in the next hour. Also, we will be talking about more on fitness and health. You remember Edgar, you've seen him on our Express workouts every morning. He'll join us as well in the third hour of the show to just answer some of your questions if you have any, and to help you out with keeping fit. If you want to lose weight, you want to maintain your weight, you want to add weight, we'll talk about all that. But before we get started on the main news, we have some breaking and disturbing news coming to us from Kisumu, the Nyanza part of this country, that is in the Nyakachi Member of Parliament. We understand his parents have been burnt in their house. The Nyakachi Member of Parliament, you remember a story a while back, had taken a body to one of the government offices. This, of course, emanating from what has been a situation over years past of cattle rustling in that particular area. So insecurity, and in regardly most so to cattle rustling, it has been a big issue. They've been trying to bring a lot of attention on that and to get it resolved. It has not. But news we're getting this morning is that his parents, and a Nyakachi Member of Parliament, his name is Aduma Awor, his parents have been burnt in their house. Our reporter is currently heading there. In a short while, we'll be speaking to Kevin, and he'll be giving us the details of what is happening. But as we await that, let's get started with the news. President Uhuru Kenyatta is talking tough yet again on corruption in the country. The president warned corrupt officers that not even court orders would save them. The straight-talking president also warned Parliament against what he called frustrating the efforts of his government through endless summonses by committees. Betty Kialo begins our coverage.
Well done.
At the teleposted towers, the president and his deputy walked in for what they say will transform service delivery in government, the inauguration of the one-stop shop for all government documents. But the president was an angry man. This event coming in the wake of reports of corruption and officers attempting to use court orders to cling to office.
Let us not frustrate one another. You have a role as Parliament to hold us to account. We accept that we be held by account, but equally give us room within which to work.
Uhuru's speech revealed the increasing uneasiness with the zeal of the National Assembly and the Senate in summoning members of the executive.
You cannot have cabinet secretaries living in Parliament to the point that whenever I'm even busy looking for these people for issues that require to be done, I'm told they're sitting in Parliament.
The executive is watching, and the people to oversight the executive, it is us.
We must check the executive, or else they'll run amok, and they're not going to manage this country.
But there was no mistaking the president's spirited onslaught on those deemed to be flouting the law or violating the constitution. For the second time in a matter of hours, Uhuru spoke bluntly in the presence of Charity Ngilu, who was found by Parliament to have broken the law in the lands ministry.
We must begin offering true service and be people of integrity in this country, in the Ministry of Lands and all these other departments. Please recognize that we must change. We are not going to do things the same way. We're not going to have immigration officers sitting there, and yet it is clearly known hawa ndio wanauza ma ID cards kwa magaidi ambayo wanakuja kutuua hapa. Alafu ufikirie utaenda kotini urudishwe kazi. Fine, koti ikisema urudi kazi, sawa. Kazi ni mshahara, lakini sio ofisi. Utakula mshahara, lakini utaikula nyumbani, ukilima shamba yako huko, hiyo ni shauri yako.
However, the president avoided any mention of what action, if any, he would take on cabinet secretaries like Ngilu, who are accused of violating the constitution. Betty Kialo, KTN.
Elsewhere, the president will now have to appoint a tribunal to investigate 6 members of the Judicial Service Commission following a parliamentary vote. The National Assembly blasted the commissioners for refusing to appear before a House committee. The 6 commissioners are accused of, among other things, seeking to interfere with the fight against corruption in the judiciary. Patrick Amimo has more.
The supremacy battle between the judiciary and parliament played out on the floor of the House when members debated a motion seeking removal of 6 commissioners of the Judicial Service Commission over allegations of serious violation of the Constitution, gross misconduct and incompetence. They criticized the High Court order that warned them against discussing the report on the floor of the House, as well as the 6 commissioners for defying summonses to appear before the Departmental Committee on Justice and Legal Affairs.
A lot of respect for Justice Odunga, a very clear mind. But I think he's been subjugated by the JSC to the extent that he issues those orders that he has issued. And we can't obey those orders.
This is a commission spitting in the face of the representatives of the people.
Even the president can be impeached by this House. Even the president. So now you ask yourself, who does the JSC then report to?
When you are summoned, even if you do not want to respect the summons, you have no choice. It is not a matter that you need to make a choice upon.
Reactions were mixed over the report's recommendation to the president to form a tribunal to investigate the 6 commissioners.
JSC is there to enable the functioning of the judiciary. So in terms of the threshold, I'm qualifying.
But these Judicial Service Commission commissioners who are paying themselves 80,000 per city have now abandoned their role, Mr. Speaker, and have taken up the role of the Chief Registrar of the High Court.
Let them be taken through a tribunal. Let them, if they are cleared, we want them back. But if they are not cleared, of course they must face the full force of the law.
I want to support this report because this report is giving us the first step towards rooting out corruption.
Mr. Speaker, I want to go further to explain what I'm asking.
There was a brief uproar in the National Assembly when Suba lawmaker John Mbadi questioned the Speaker for asking the mover of the motion, Samuel Chepkonga, to reply before discussions were exhausted.
Is it in order for us to take a decision on a report that does not address the petition?
Honorable John Mbadi, you are not the person without whom this House cannot make decisions.
After the heated exchanges, the motion was put to a vote.
The ayes have it.
The Speaker will now write to President Uhuru Kenyatta, notifying him of the National Assembly's decision for him to appoint a tribunal to investigate the 6 JSC commissioners. The JSC registrar this week told the High Court that in the event Parliament adopts the report and forwards recommendations to the President, JSC operations will be paralyzed and grind to a halt. Patrick Amimo, KTN.
And it has been over a month now since KTN aired a heartbreaking story of the scourge of cancer in a tiny village in Marsabit. Now Parliament is seeking to grill Ministry of Health officials over the incidence of the killer disease that has baffled many experts. But as KTN's Dennis Unsarigo reports, real action still seems far away.
The faces of young children and their parents are coming to a killer disease in northern Kenya. Images frozen in time of a ravaging condition that appears not to have moved the national and county governments into action. It has been 1 month since KTN ran an investigative story on the plight of residents of Karigi, Maikona, Kalacha and Bubisa. Residents who continue to die of throat, stomach and lung cancers. KTN's investigations desk wrote to the Ministry of Health and even went ahead to hold a telephone conversation with the Cabinet Secretary, James Macharia. It has taken 3 weeks for the ministry to respond. Through a report, the National Assembly now says it is in a position of a statement prepared by the Ministry of Health.
Once we've interrogated the report, then if we think there is more input that we expect from that report, because we want to, once we are presenting to the National Assembly, this is an issue of public health concern.
The report will shed light on the government's response to the alarming number of cancer cases that have claimed more than 70 lives since 2009. Some of the cancer victims KTN interviewed a few months ago have since died, and many more are staring death in the face. Residents of Marsabit blame the killings on oil exploration carried out in the larger Marsabit County 26 years ago. Residents here claim a multinational company might have buried radioactive materials in the Chalbi Desert.
Once we have that kind of information, then we'll be able to ask them to appear before the committee, and we'll be able now to look at what is happening in Marsabit, what is the best way forward, how would we be able to manage the case, and what would be the message that we'll give it to the people of Marsabit.
This is not the first time that Parliament will be probing the effects of the terminal disease. In 2009, an interministerial committee recommended that residents of Marsabit be provided with alternative sources of drinking water. That did not happen. For now, the victims of the killer disease will have to wait.
All right, and as we continue with our bulletin, we're also bringing you breaking news we are getting from Kisumu County. And we understand that the Member of Parliament, whose name is Oduor, let me just get that name again. He has had his parents killed. Aduma Owora, I beg your pardon. His parents' house was torched. His mother is believed to have been killed in the kitchen while making dinner last night at about 8:30 p.m. And the father was burnt in the house beyond recognition. The motive of the attack remains unclear. And you'll remember this Member of Parliament that a few days ago, a week or so, over a week or two or so ago, he dumped the body. He dumped a body at the office of the Nyanza Regional Commissioner's office, and he dumped that body saying that he wanted to make a point on what he says is a cattle rustling situation in the region and in that particular constituency that has not been handled for a very long time, despite having very many meetings with security agencies. So he had made headlines at that particular time, but this incident happening last night, we understand at about 8:30 p.m. Attackers, unknown assailants, the motive also unclear, but burning the house down, and the mother and the father of the Member of Parliament being killed in that particular incident. We will be bringing you more details. That's Nyakach MP Aduma Owor's parents that were killed last night, their house torched to the ground. More details will be coming as we go along with this show this morning. Let's move on to other stories. And the Constitution Implementation Commission has called on President Uhuru Kenyatta to reject the Kenya Information and Communication Amendment Bill 2013, terming it unconstitutional. The CIC spoke as the media fraternity swore to use all legal means to protect media freedom in the country.
The Constitution Implementation Commission is warning the president against signing the bill, citing sections of which it says violates the Constitution.
If enacted in its current state, in other words, if the president assents to it and it becomes law, this, in our view, will inadvertently erode the gains provided for in the Constitution to ensure freedom of the media.
Media practitioners have also put their feet down, saying they won't rest until the contentious sections are removed.
We are warning them that journalists in this country are not going to take this lying down anymore. We are going to fight on the print newspapers. We are going to battle on the airwaves, and we are going to swarm the digital platforms and fight back any attempts to whittle down media freedom in this country.
They want the president to reject the proposed law and return it to the National Assembly in order to safeguard the hard and democratic space.
We are warning them to watch this space and watch the coming days keenly on the actions we are going to take.
The bill proposes hefty fines for journalists and media houses perceived to have broken the code of conduct, capping the fines at 1 million shillings for individual journalists and 20 million shillings for media houses.
Kenya is joining the ranks of our neighbors who are only comparable to failed states when such laws can be passed by the National Assembly. We say that Kenya is going also to become the notorious country with the highest fines slapped on a journalist in the whole world.
But amid the uproar, the National Assembly is getting ready to begin debate on yet another controversial bill on the medium. The Media Council bill is also contested by the media over sections that seek to give the Cabinet Secretary greater say in the management of the industry. Pushed to the limits, the media is now ready to pick a battle with the National Assembly over the controversial communications bill, with the only remedy to forestall the clash being the president not signing the bill into law, while the media says it is out to secure the democratic space and civil liberties that they say the National Assembly is out to stifle by approving that particular bill. Sam Ogina, KTN, Nairobi.
Thank you, Sam. And it is, however, not just the media that is in the crosshairs of Parliament. Many sectors, including the civil society, are seemingly shaking in their boots as members of Parliament consider various actions that could muzzle them as well. KTN's Linda Ogutu takes a closer look at what may just be Kenya's first parliamentary dictatorship.
The March 4th general election handed the Jubilee government what came to be described as the tyranny of numbers in both the Senate and the National Assembly. In essence, the numbers would ensure that as a majority, they would have their way on every important issue before Parliament.
We in court, and let me put you on notice, we shall never be party to this. We will not. We will let you do what you want. Can you withdraw in silence?
The resultant effect of Jubilee's numerical superiority has been the crippling of the opposition. CORD and its members have been unable to act to check and highlight the excesses of the majority. CORD has been unable to expose any weakness in government policies or to remain a vigilant watchdog over action and inaction of the government. They have since lost the power to oppose wrong policies of the government, which is an essential part of a democratic process.
Mr. Speaker, the media claim that the members of the Communications and Multimedia Appeals Tribunal shall be appointed and controlled by government.
Na habari akisambaza habari ambao wewe hupendi, unaweza kumtoza faini ya shilingi milioni 20. Huo ni ukandamizaji wa hali ya juu kabisa.
With the strength of the opposition in check, the next logical avenue to highlight key issues in government and highlight wrongs is the media. And in what seems like the perfect move to silence the fourth estate and bring it under control, the Jubilee government has come up with two bills that will effectively ensure the media is too scared to step on the government's toes.
Our position as editors and journalists in this country is that we are opposed to it, we reject it, and we encourage the president to live by his word.
If enacted, the Kenya Information and Communication Amendment Bill 2013 and the Media Council Bill 2013 could stifle media freedom, independence, and, as the Constitution Implementation Commission has confirmed, violate the Constitution. It would essentially sound the death knell on freedom of expression and media freedom in the country. But they have not stopped at the media control. In their crosshairs now are the non-governmental organizations which have been the backbone of the civil society over time. A proposed law now seeks to regulate the flow of foreign funds. It seeks to cap the amount of foreign funds NGOs can get to 15% of their budget. This could cripple the NGOs which have been vocal in expressing their opinion on government activities.
Somebody coming in now to limit funding for civil society or public benefit organizations to 15%, after which you have to seek approval of the government, does not make sense.
And for the first time under the new constitution, Kenya is staring in the face of a parliamentary dictatorship that springs from a legally and democratically elected body. Almost every sector of the Kenyan society now has something to fear from the house that should ordinarily be referred to as the people's representatives.
And the High Court has given the green light for the inauguration of the construction of Machakos City on a piece of land at the center of a controversy. The court denied a request by Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama seeking to stop President Uhuru Kenyatta from launching the project. KTN's Edith Kimani reports.
The Machakos governor, Dr. Alfred Mutua, is a happy man. He knows with finality that in a matter of hours, what he sees as a takeoff for Machakos City will start on this land, a 2,200-acre property that has been the subject of controversy.
Construction has been going on, the tents have been set up, and we are looking forward to hosting President Uhuru Kenyatta and investors.
this is no thanks, ironically, to Dr. Mutua's biggest critic and senator of Machakos County, Johnston Muthama. In recent days, Muthama has accused Mutua of land grabbing. According to Muthama, the land on which Machakos City is to stand on belongs to a veterinary training institute. Through his lawyer, the senator went to court in an attempt to stop the launch of the city, but Judge Korir says the inauguration will go ahead even as the case continues.
This is an application in which all sides must be heard before any orders can be issued.
With that ruling, Dr. Mutua got his go-ahead to continue his preparations, and he wasted no time assessing the bleachers, gardens, and even food ahead of the president's officiating day.
And so all these machinations you've been seeing running around, people trying to stop and sabotage this program, it is not because there's anything wrong going on. It is not because the land is not there. It is because they are asking, how can this continue and have not eaten something?
Even with his current victory, Dr. Mutua will still be expected in court next Tuesday when the case challenging ownership of the land will be heard and determined. For now, however, all roads lead to Machakos County for the presidential event. Edith Kimani, KTN.
Catholic bishops have called for cooperation with the International Criminal Court that is currently in the process of prosecuting President Uhuru Kenyatta and his deputy William Ruto. As KTN's Fred Mulo reports from Kisumu County, the clergymen also distanced themselves from calls among religious groups for clergymen to carry guns.
In their annual address to the media where they expressed their concerns, the bishops had a few succinct words regarding one of the biggest challenges that is shaking the establishment.
While we appreciate that the ICC tribunal has considered to make the timetable fairly flexible, we urge all Kenyans to become united and patient, allowing the court process to run its course.
The statement that differs significantly with the government position comes at a time when local and foreign efforts are underway to have the cases thrown out altogether. The bishops also distance themselves from calls to arm the clergy.
We also disassociate ourselves from demands by some religious leaders for arms to defend themselves and their flock. Religious extremists will only brew more conflicts and create more division and strife among communities.
They also waded into the media bill controversy, expressing solidarity with the Fourth Estate that has come under attack from Parliament.
We remind all Kenyans, and more so, the drafters of the bill, that the current constitution encourages public participation in its implementation. Making of new laws or amendments, therefore, calls for participation of all stakeholders.
Among other targets of the bishop's chastisement were county ward representatives across the country who are on a go-slow as they seek a salary hike. From Kisumu City, I am Fredo Mulo.
And staying with Kisumu City in Nyakach constituency, news we are getting this morning is that at about 8:30 p.m. last evening, the parents of Nyakach Member of Parliament were killed in their house, and their house in fact burnt down the further beyond recognition. The assailants are yet to be known, and also the motive of that attack is also yet to be known. The Nyakach Member of Parliament is a first-time MP, and he came into of course, the limelight just about a few days ago when he dumped a body at the PC's office. And this, he said, was to drive a point home following numerous cases of cattle rustling in Nyakach constituency, saying despite meetings with security agencies, nothing had been done to address the issue in that particular constituency. And so Aduma Award, who's the Nyakach Member of Parliament, had dumped that body, hoping it would drive the point home. There had been demonstrations, it recorded a statement, and now this, understanding that about 8:30 p.m. last evening, his mother was killed in the kitchen while preparing dinner, and his father as well was killed when the house was torched. It was burned to the ground, and of course the motive remains unclear. Neither are the assailants known. Security agencies are on the ground. Our reporter will be talking to us in a short while as he's just collecting more details of this story that we're receiving from Nyakach constituency in Kisumu. We will continue to bring you the updates as and when we get them. And now let's take a look at other stories making headlines across the country.
Thank you, Klaus.
The Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Professor Fred Segor, has said the government is committed to expanding access to contraceptives for women and girls. He says the ministry has pumped 770 million shillings into family planning programs across the country. The Global Development Forum Director Family Program, Elizabeth Lule, noted that there is need for education, training and youth empowerment at the rural level to curb teenage pregnancies.
Elsewhere, fear gripped Gatuthini village in Kirinyaga after a headless body of an elderly woman was found in her house. The body of the woman was discovered by her son when he went to look in on her. Police mounted a search for the missing head, only to discover it inside a pit latrine within the compound. The unknown assailants are said to have tortured the retired civil servant before beheading her.
And in Naivasha, a man in Maimahiu killed his wife before taking his life as his children watched. He hung himself in his bedroom hours after strangling his wife. The man, who is said to be a sand harvester, had earlier quarreled with the mother of four, resulting in a fight which led to the deaths. The man was rescued by his two children after he tried to hang himself the first time, only to lock himself in the house again later and taking his own life.
That's your weather outlook. And remember, even as we get into our press review, we continue to bring you updates as and when we get them of that arson attack in Nyakach. Nyakach Member of Parliament Aduma Awar's parents burnt alive in their house. We understand the attack took place at about 8:30 p.m. last evening. The motive remains unclear, but as the details come in, we'll continue to update you. We'll be speaking to our reporter in a short while. Let's have a look at what the dailies have this morning. The Standard today, the headline, Mutunga 6 face the axe. That is the headline. In Parliament yesterday, we saw adopting the report for the removal of 6 commissioners of the Judicial Service Commission over the Shulei saga. President Uhuru Kenyatta now has set up a tribunal to investigate 6 members of the JSC that MPs want removed for breaching the Constitution. This follows, of course, a major decision by MPs to back a report of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament that targets 6 members of Parliament whose chair is the Chief Justice, Dr. William Mutunga. The 6 are Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi, there's Samuel Kobia, Christine Mango, Mohamed Warsame, beg your pardon, Emily Ominde, as well as Florence Mwangangi. The 3 who are members of the JSC Finance and Administration Committee, and more details of that story are on page 3 of the Standard today, alongside the pictures of those 6. There's that application, there's that proposal to have them axed, to have them removed from JSC. The legislators said that the 6 JSC commissioners must prove they are beyond reproach. Said the 6 JSC commissioners must prove that in fact, you remember earlier on there was that court order barring even intervention of Parliament into this particular matter, but Parliament going ahead to discuss it and in fact having that proposal going forward. The chairman of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee, Samuel Chepkonga, said the commissioners must face a tribunal to defend themselves and their actions, and will continue with the stories that are making headlines in the dailies today. But I want us to cross over to Nyakach constituency to talk to our Standard reporter Kevin Omolo, who's live for us there via phone. Good morning, Kevin.
Thank you.
So this is the information we're getting this morning is that the attack happened about 8:30 last evening. What do you know? What can you tell us about this arson last evening?
Okay, the information we are getting now is that there's a group of
sorry,
which attacked the MP's parents, and the mother and the dad both have been killed.
Okay.
Hello?
All right, yeah, so we're getting information that the MP's parents were killed. That is Aduma Awar. A gang of about how many, about what time? Did anybody, what happened exactly? We're hearing of torching of the house. What more details can you give us?
Okay. At the moment, we have spoken to the OCPD of the area. Who is saying he may not address the press now because it's not having enough information. But the information we are getting from the residents is that these people might have come yesterday at around 9 in the night. And it's like the MP has been pushing for issues of insecurity in the area. And it looks like it was a revenge kind of mission. So that body is still stuck in the house, but the mom's body has been removed. There is a very big crowd of people. Everyone seems to be confused and maybe waiting for the information from the OCPD.
Right, and I'm hearing, I think it's somebody mourning around you. If you could just describe for us the situation, what you're seeing there. You are at the compound where this happened. We understand the house was burned to the ground. Is that the case? And what can you see? Other than the crowds, who else is there?
Okay, the house has been burned completely. And it's only the wall which is standing now. I have visited the house, and everything inside the house has been burnt down.
Right.
Yeah.
And who is there? We're hearing somebody, I think a Mona, just next to you when you were speaking to us at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay, so area residents, you said, gathered there. Are we seeing security officers as well?
Yeah, because the security officers have blocked the scene.
They've blocked it, okay. It's cordoned off.
Yeah, to keep away the residents.
Okay.
Yeah, but the angry residents are very infuriated, and with seeing the body out here, they're trying to inquire what exactly, so that the security officers explain to them what is exactly happening, because the insecurity situation in the area has been increasing due to cattle rustling in the area.
All right, and do we know the whereabouts of the Member of Parliament himself, Aduma Awar? Do you know where he is?
No, we have not seen him around. They are saying he has not yet arrived.
Okay. And of course, the Member of Parliament, as we talk about him, we'd seen him dump a body at the PC's office.
Yeah.
And then he was saying that that was to drive a point home as far as the cases of cattle rustling in the area are concerned. So take us through what has been the situation. What's the turmoil? What's been happening in Nyakach?
Okay, basically what is happening is that Nyakach around Sondu is a border between Rift Valley and Nyanza. And there have been complaints of cattle rustling, of people from the Rift Valley side.
Right.
Yeah, coming to raid the other side. So recently, the MP Aduma Awar carried a body which had is believed to have been killed by the cattle rustlers, and took the body to the county commissioner's office in Kisumu.
Right.
And he was complaining to the security officers over their negligence. But the security officer seems to, according to information we get from around, they have been quite reluctant to information and reports about the cattle rustling in the area.
All right. And how long has this been going on for, the cattle rustling? And if you're talking about that body that was dumped having been, just one of the people affected by and attacked by the cattle rustlers, how many other lives have we seen as you've been watching developments there, people losing their lives to this?
Okay, the situation has been going on for some time. And much of it was seen after the general election, in which the political situation of the area is believed to have been, there have been differences. So after the political, after the general election, which brought these two sections as opponents,
right?
And the MP who has been pushing for the insecurity to be addressed in the area has been seen to be against the people from the other side, that's the Rift Valley side. Yeah, because they have been blaming the people from the Rift Valley side of encroaching into their area and complaining that there is nobody from the Nyanza side who has been crossing to the other side to cause insecurity.
Okay, and how many lives have we seen lost to this cattle rustling in the area?
I may not give the exact number.
Yeah.
But I believe more than 5 lives have been lost.
Okay.
In the last around 5 months.
All right, finally, Kevin, before I release you, and of course, I'm sure you'll be talking to the residents and just trying to talk to the security officers at the compound of Nyakacho MP's parents, where it's been torched, burnt down. You said that the body of his mother had been removed, but that of his father is still in the house?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so
the body of the mother, is lying outside the house.
Right.
Yeah, and we are told that the body of the father is inside, but we still cannot press. At the moment we get the information, we'll let you know.
All right, Kevin, I'll let you go so that you can find out a little bit more information on what happened and what the police officers are saying, as well as the residents who allege, it could be an act of vengeance. But do talk to them and find out more, and we'll link up with you later. But thank you for talking to us. That's Kevin Omolo, who's a reporter with the Standard newspaper, coming to us live from Nyakach constituency in Kisumu. And early yesterday evening at about 9 p.m. We understand that he's just telling us now he's at the compound of the Member of Parliament's house, the Nyakach Member of Parliament. His name is Aduma Award. The house was burnt down. The parents were burnt alive in the house. And we understand the house, of course, brought completely down by that fire. And the body of the mother has since been removed from the house. The father is yet to be removed from the house. And crowds have gathered there. We could hear mourners just wailing as we spoke to Kevin from Nyakach, officers also on the ground. The cause, the motive of this particular fire and killings remains unclear. But of course, as investigations continue and as more information continues to come through, we will update you on this. But just also giving us a background of what has been happening in Nyakach, you did tell us that there's been an issue of cattle rustling. It's been there for a while, boiling over, and it had actually brought the Nyakach Member of Parliament to the news headlines a few days ago when he dumped a body at the PC's office. And when he did so, he said it was to drive that point home, to call more attention to the issue of cattle rustling in Nyakach. He said despite numerous meetings with security agencies in the area, nothing had been done, and that this body was one that had been killed. That person had been killed by cattle rustlers. And this has been pitting people, we understand, Nyakach being at the border of Nyanza in the Rift Valley. And so he has been placing blame to residents from the Rift Valley coming into Nyakach to steal their livestock, and of course in that also killing people. Reports are telling us about 5 or so have died this year due to these cases of insecurity caused by cattle rustling. So we'll continue to monitor these situations as the updates come in to us from Kisumu, Nyakach constituency. We will bring you up to speed with what is happening over in Nyakach. Let's continue with our press review, and we're talking about that story of the Judicial Service Commissioners now facing the axe, and Parliament has is asking the president to form a tribunal to investigate the 6 of interfering with reforms and perhaps even also corruption allegations that have been there in the judiciary. And so there's a comprehensive report, as you can see there on page 3 of the Standard. But just to take us back a little bit to page 2, it's a one-stop center that was launched yesterday for easier access to public services. Huduma pilot project in Nairobi will offer 18 services from 10 government agencies. So just bringing them together, one-stop shop, in fact, just make sure you don't have to go to 18 different places or 10 different government agencies. So bringing all that under one roof. And Kenyans can now access various government services under one roof, a move that seeks to enhance service delivery in the country. So following the launch of Huduma Center yesterday by President Kenyatta, Kenyans in Nairobi will access a number of services at Teleposta House, that's at GPO. Kenyans in Nairobi seeking to register business names, get national identity cards or student loan application and repayment forms, register with the National Social Security Fund and National Hospital Insurance Fund, and report corruption, among other services, will be able to do so at the center. The project will eventually be rolled out to other parts of the country. And of course, a welcome move just in terms of making everything easier, so you don't have to move all over the place trying to get your stuff sorted out. The pilot project to offer 18 key services, as I mentioned, and the pilot project at Huduma Center will offer those 18 services. It's from 10 government agencies. The program, spearheaded by the Devolution and National Planning Ministry, will be rolled out in other parts of the country. And Anwar Guru, the Cabinet Secretary, Devolution, says we will use the good infrastructure of the post office to roll out the program. And also, Uhuru and Ruto add sparkle to Huduma Center event is a story on the same page. In their characteristic manner of lightheartedness, the president and his deputy cracked jokes in public. At about 2 p.m., the two walked on the red carpet to launch the Huduma initiative. As the president was requested to pose for a photo, Ruto was at hand to provide the Huduma service. So you can get more details of those light moments that were witnessed there at the launch yesterday. On page 4, it's a story that has been making headlines the past couple of days, and it promises to continue to do so, especially as we await the president's action and decision over the kicker bill that's before him to either sign or decide to return it to Parliament. And it's democracy under attack. On page 4 of the Standard, Nyachai points out flaws in media bill, advising the president to reject it. And we've seen many other quarters calling for the same, asking the president to reject that bill, that proposed law. And also the picture there, it's journalists from Kisumu demonstrating along Odenga Street against the controversial media bill yesterday. So the Commission's beef with the controversial bill, CIC says that the bill passed by Parliament contains serious violations of the Constitution and should not be assented to in its current form. CIC said the bill contravened Article 34 of the Constitution that guarantees freedom of the media. CIC proposed the amendment of Clause 7 of the bill. You can get more details of what the CIC is saying on that bill, as well as that journalist demo in Kisumu. They asked the president to reject it in totality since it would infringe on press freedom. And in a speech that was read by the organizing secretary, Alan Obiero, they expressed concern over the proposal to establish a tribunal that would bar journalists from practicing, saying this would intimidate journalists. Also on that page, editors, reporters appeal to Uhuru over press freedom, and minority groups criticize media bill. as well. So eyes are trained on the president as far as that is concerned to see what action he will take. A story on page 6 now of the Standard, continuing from the top page. Uhuru defends and battles Ngilu from MP's censure. We saw that happening, approving and upholding that motion that had been tabled, that in fact the Cabinet Secretary Lands had broken the law. And yesterday we saw and heard the tough speak from the president as far as the summonses coming through from Parliament to the Cabinet Secretary, saying they are affecting their work, in that they keep being called in to appear before this. He urged Parliament to give the new government space and time to deliver its promises to Kenyans. Quote, "If it is an issue of policy, we can look into it." So the president spoke against the hounding of cabinet secretaries that would distract them from their responsibilities, especially given that the new government structure had no room for assistant ministers. He said, quote, "The constitution does not give us room for deputy cabinet secretaries to offer the public services. Who is going to do the work and when will it begin?" He posed while opening a one-stop center for government services at Teleposta yesterday. More details are there alongside what Aiden Duale, he said the executive respects the doctrine of separation of powers. His comments there. Moses Ole Sakuda, he claims the move by Parliament does not mean Ngilu is removed from office. Agostino Neto, he considered that MPs were becoming increasingly liberal. Opio Wandayi, on his part, said he asked the president to fire and the besieged cabinet secretary. So there are those who believe she should not continue to serve in cabinet. Cross to page 7 in the Standard. This Friday, supervisor held over exam leakage. It is alleged that overseer regularly exposed contents of the chemistry paper 2 test in the ongoing examinations. A supervisor on the ongoing KCSE was arrested for allegedly leaking a test. Wendo OCPD Moses Kuria said the teacher, a supervisor at Pearhill Secondary School, was arrested after he reportedly irregularly exposed contents of the chemistry paper 2. And one more story there on page 8, move to avert hunger in 23 counties. There's been reports, and the government warns that 1.6 million people in arid and semi-arid regions at risk from looming drought, and 23 counties, quite a large number that one is. And it's about 1.6 million Kenyans that are facing famine and drought. Deputy President Ruto warned that a drought was looming in 23 arid and semi-arid counties. Mr. Ruto also reveals that he had held a meeting with key line ministries and the Council of Governors to seek solutions to the problem. It will be important to see what action will be taken to avert the crisis from happening. And there's a picture there, beautiful, lovely one. It's a purple kiss. The Pope Francis kisses a baby as he arrives for his general audience at St. Peter's Square at the Vatican on Wednesday. You can get more details of that on that page. Let's quickly look at the sports news today. Back on form is the headline on Fever Pitch in the Standard. And Messi, Higuain and Eto'o shine in Champions League on page 67 today of Fever Pitch. Also, Argentina coach Raul Lozano to train national women's team on page 66, and Kenya Forest Service Golf Series finale heads for Njoro Club this weekend. Those are some of the stories you will find today in the Standard. And of course, we'll be looking at what is in the Pulse and the Nairobian later on in the show as we continue. But let's go to the Daily Nation now, and their headline there is on what MPs adopted the report to sack judiciary chiefs. And Parliament asks President to start process of removing 6 members of the Judicial Service Commission, including Ahmed Nasir Abdullahi, ignoring the court order barring the House from discussing the matter. We will look at that story in more detail as we go along the pages where it is covered. But on page 2, it is send media bill back to MPs, Uhuru told, as journalists protest Also a story in the Daily Nation today, as youthful legislators oppose new press law. Some of the stories in the pages of the Daily Nation. So that story on the Parliament votes to send JSC members home is on page 4 of the Nation, and MPs, as we saw yesterday in the House, voted to petition the President to start the process of removing 6 JSC members from office. The majority, by acclamation, came despite court orders barring the House from discussing the report. That report that was tabled by the National Assembly's Legal Affairs Committee. It effectively means that the fate of the 6 is now in the hands of the President. JSC members are elected by the respective organizations, and it is not clear what MPs would do if the groups elect the same members in the event they are subjected to a tribunal. The recommendation by the Justice Committee sailed through despite opposition from a section of MPs who argued that Parliament was overstepping its mandate. They argued that the separation of powers should be maintained. And of course, the cases, the trial against the Deputy President and Sang continue at The Hague. And on page 5 is explosives were used to burn Kikuyu houses in Yamumbi. That's what the witness told the ICC yesterday. The 7th witness also accuses Ruto of providing guards to protect cows stolen from the community. And you will find there the cross-examination, what the prosecutor asked, and the responses given by the witness. The attackers of a Kikuyu estate in Eldoret used explosives like objects to burn houses during the 2007-2008 post-election violence, the 7th prosecution witness told ICC judges. And according to witness 423, after setting alight the houses at Yamumbi, the youths would throw the objects into the fire to increase its intensity. The witness also said Mr. Ruto provided guards to protect the cattle that had been stolen from the Kikuyus. And it's D-Day today in Machakos County. On page 6, the bid to block Mutua land offer. The Machakos city is expected to be launched today by President Uhuru Kenyatta. In fact, KTN will be live on location, so you can follow the live proceedings later on this morning as the Machakos city is launched. But of course, the Cabinet Secretary accuses Machakos governor of encroaching on ministry land. The Agriculture Ministry has vowed to take stern action against Machakos governor if he carries on with the construction on what they say is restricted land. Machakos Governor Mutua Alfred was encroaching on land intended for the Veterinary Department and the Kenya Meat Commission. Agriculture, Livestock, Fisheries Cabinet Secretary Felix Koskei told journalists yesterday. Quote, he has gone ahead and built a borehole, a park and a house on this land. Mr. Koskei cautioning that if the governor did not stop the construction, he would take action to address the issue. We also remember that the Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama has differed with Mr. Mutua's development plans, arguing that investors should buy land instead of getting it for free out of the 2,000-acre county land. But the governor on his part has argued it is easier to give that land out free to the investors because in essence and ultimately they will be bringing in more money as the years go by instead of leaving the land to lie bare in the county. So that is a debate that has pitted the governor in Machakos, that is Alfred Mutua, and his senator, Machakos County, Johnston Muthama. They have differed on that particular issue, and of course the lands ministry coming in as well there, saying and accusing the governor of encroaching on the land. But that city, Machakos City, to be launched today, quite an ambitious plan the governor has, and where he sees Machakos County in a few years, he says it will be a county to watch for everybody, and one that other counties, the other 46, can borrow a leaf from going forward. As we wind up and look at the Daily Nation, Muturi snubs court advice on draft laws. Thus, the National Assembly and Senate had been urged to work in harmony on bills. And the Speaker, Muturi, yesterday dismissed advice by the Supreme Court on how MPs and senators should work on bills, saying the Constitution was clear on their distinct roles. So speaking in Nairobi after leading a meeting of members of parliament and members of the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, Muturi said the advice had no consequence. While making a ruling on the Division of Revenue Act last Friday, the Supreme Court emphasized the need for both the National Assembly and the Senate to work harmoniously and settle their differences through mediation. There was that rising supremacy battle between the two and who had what authority to do what. And the Supreme Court, of course, urging them to work together. And now the Speaker saying that advice or those words had really no consequence. A story on page 8 of the Daily Nation today. Back page of the Daily Nation, we are in the East African community to stay, says Kikwete. Tanzania accusing Kenya and Uganda and Rwanda as well of sidelining it, coalition of the willing, as what is being said here in court. So Tanzania will not quit the regional bloc despite efforts by Kenya, Rwanda and Uganda to sideline it. That is what President Jakaya Kikwete is saying. Instead, the country would do everything within its power to ensure the survival and prosperity of the EAC, he told MPs in Dodoma yesterday. However, Mr. Kikwete said he was puzzled and saddened by efforts to sideline his country, even in issues that have all along been discussed at the level of the EAC summit. He says, quote, "Is there a conspiracy to push Tanzania out of the EAC? Is it that my counterparts from Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda hate me personally?" Those are the questions he posed. It is difficult to even imagine the answers, Mr. President Kikwete said. So Kikwete, of course, reaction comes after President Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya, Museveni of Uganda, and Kagame of Rwanda held a series of 3 meetings this year, the latest being in October 28th in Kigali, where they discussed and agreed to start the implementation of several infrastructure projects, the political federation, and the single customs territory. And President Kikwete affirmed that he was never invited to the 3 meetings. And also this reaction from President Kikwete coming a few days after the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga said that, in fact, a committee of eminent persons from the EAC countries should be set up to ensure that the issues now facing the EAC are ironed out. That story was making headlines, I think, about a day or 2 ago. To the Star newspaper this Friday, the headline, "Police escorted Kalenjin killers." That is what ICC witness said yesterday, a story that has its details continuing on page 6. Also, MPs ignore court order over JSC. We've been through what those, the members of parliament, the action yesterday, ignoring the court order and petitioning the president to begin and set up a tribunal that will see perhaps these 6 JSC members interrogated by that tribunal, and consequently, if found to have blame or to have failed in their mandate, to be removed from office. Let ministers work, Uhuru tells MPs. The president yesterday asked MPs to let his cabinet secretaries do their work. A visibly angry Uhuru complained that ministers were spending too much time in parliament because of summonses by members of parliament. And we saw the Star yesterday cover this story. It's continuing with it today on page 2. And Ruto's office to probe jet saga is the story here. And the deputy president's office has promised to get to the bottom of the matter involving the alleged loss of documents used in the hire of what was widely called the Hustler's jet. The aircraft was hired to take Deputy President Ruto on a tour of 4 African countries in May this year. And the Chief of Staff in Ruto's office, Marianne Kitani, yesterday told the Public Accounts Committee of the National Assembly that investigations have been launched into the loss of the LSOs and why the LSO that approved the payment was not signed by the accountant responsible. To page 3 now of the Star. Senate bill to put limit on governors' powers. The Senate yesterday began debating a bill that seeks to limit the powers of governors in the new pecking order and official titles. The national flag, emblems and names bill by Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale, which is in its second reading, is aimed at bringing order in government hierarchy. So in the new government leadership structures, governors will be ranked below the senators and stripped of the title His Excellency. The title will be redirected, or rather restricted, to the president and the deputy president. Halwale said state officers will be given official titles in line with their roles. Details on page 3 of the Star newspaper. And several stories on page 4 of the Star today. One of them, 4 IEBC officials deny fraud charges, and the 5 senior employees of the Electoral Boundaries Commission were yesterday, not boundaries, but Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, yesterday charged with fraud. And the Independent Commission of 2 employees, 2 businessmen, also face 5 charges of fraud in the acquisition of 30,000 solar lanterns worth 200 million shillings for use during the March 4th election. Other stories on that page. Mudama fails to stop city launch that's happening today. As I mentioned, Kabogo is being sued over death tax bill. Remember that story and those taxes, the proposed ones from Kiambu County that raised quite some debate in the past week. And so Kiambu Governor William Kabogo has been sued over the proposed finance bill. And Jamo Faster Welfare Association wants the High Court in Kiambu to block the introduction of the bill that seeks to tax the dead and living in the county. Also, Kombo challenges validity of Wetangula's petition appeal. Former Cabinet Secretary Muskari Kombo has filed an application before the High Court in Bungoma challenging the orders that the former Senator Moses Wetangula used to file his appeal. So the High Court registrar yesterday certified the application as urgent and ordered all parties to appear before the court next week, Wednesday. And more stories, of course, in the Star. Cross to the Star Sport today. In athletic news, the Star is reporting dope team has been set up, and the government to unveil banned substances committee on Monday. The committee to investigate doping allegations against Kenya athletes will be unveiled on Monday. The probe has been prompted by the World Anti-Doping Agency, that's WADA. The agency gave Kenya until the end of this month to develop a report after the number of athletes found to have been using banned substances had risen between 2010 to 2012 to 17 between January and September this year. In tennis news, Murray and Serena better start believing it. The idea of Andy Murray playing in Las Vegas showdown against Serena Williams, originally mooted in a jokey Twitter exchange, is set to become a reality next year. Details there. And in rugby news, skipper Amonde hails arrival of True's technical team. Finally, the People today. Headline in the People newspaper: President takes graft war to police and the office of the president. He did in fact categorically state that there is corruption that needs to be dealt with and rooted out from those offices and that department. Also, stories in the People today: State unveils new driving syllabus. That's a good one. Roads Minister orders driving schools to adopt new curriculum for safety. So this just coming even as that road safety discussion has taken center stage in light of the road carnage we've been seeing, the numbers escalating as the days go by. Of course, the question will be whether the schools will adhere to this, and also the corruption that also sees some people getting driving licenses, not even going through the driving course. But there is that new syllabus to ensure that motorists, by the time they get on the road, are well versed with the rules and what is expected. Page 8 of this People today media bill. Nyachai writes to Uhuru over clauses he argues are unconstitutional. And of course, the showdown looms as MPs vote to kick out 6 JSC members and take on TPF6. That's the Spice Inside pullout of the People newspapers. You can get details of that as well. And inside business, government brokers truce in Turkana oil dispute, and the MOU 117 billion shillings deal signed to reduce tension between exploration firm Talo Oil and the local residents. You remember operations had to be halted last week, was it? Following those protests by locals that they were not in fact benefiting from the work being done in that region. That's what the dailies have for you this morning. Grab yourself a copy of the Standard newspaper, Kenya's bold paper, for those stories I highlighted, and of course so much more. And in the next hour, we'll be looking at what the Nairobian, your weekly newspaper, has today, and of course the Pulse pullout. Before we take a break, a quick look at the roads, the traffic updates courtesy of my 3 Roots on Twitter. As always, what are they saying this morning? Friday, thank God it is Friday. Jogoro jam from Chachami the way to Machakos County bus. There's jam already over there. And Jogoro at 7 a.m. moving steadily up to City Stadium. Also, 3 traffic cops on Outer Ring Road next to NCPB are notorious for collecting bribes as if it is NCC mess. So somebody is just raising the red flag on that one. And Thika Superhighway jam imeanza. Alisop, tutaingia tao sangapi surely. That's about 8 minutes ago, somebody complaining of traffic piling up on that side of town. And there is still a stalled canter on Mombasa Road at GM Bridge on your way to town. So if that is indeed the case up to now, it's a situation that is likely to cause a snarl up and crazy traffic this morning. Anything else? Traffic building up on Mombasa Road, the Nyayo Stadium roundabout. And in case as you head out, there's something you see on the roads, of course, keep us updated. You can tweet me at Sophia Wanuna at KTN Kenya Traffic Update, and we'll keep everybody else informed. Welcome back to Morning Express on this 8th day of November 2013. Thank God it's Friday, the weekend already smiling at us. This morning we have a great show lined up for you. By the way, did I mention Edgar Scott, the man you usually see leading our exercise workout sessions on the Express Workout every day, will be joining me in studio, and he'll just be talking to us about why it's very important, because I think it is, and it's something that needs to become more of a culture. And you know, just everybody working out, keeping fit, keeping healthy, looking good always helps. It's a good one. So we'll be talking to him about that and just some of those simple exercises you can always do, and we'll be talking to us about the different bodies and what you need to do for you in terms also of ensuring you eating healthy, doing the right things, drinking water, the right way to work out, you're hitting the gym, you're using the machinery, how to go about that. So it will be an interesting discussion. But I want to recap for us the breaking news that we received early this morning, and earlier on we spoke to our reporter who's on the ground in Nyakach constituency, and some sad news coming from there. The Member of Parliament, Nyakach Member of Parliament Aduma Owor's parents were last evening killed, burnt alive in their house in Nyakach constituency. The motive of that killing remains unclear, and also the assailants remained at large. But of course, investigations continue. And we understand this happened at about 9 p.m. Last evening. That's when the house was torched down. By the time we spoke to our reporter, Kevin Omolo, who's on the ground, he told he was in the compound and he could hear mourners already there, just saddened by this news and shocked as well. The body of his mother, the MP's mother, had been removed from the house, but that of his father had yet to be removed from the building that was razed down. They were burnt alive last evening. And as we said, the motive remains unclear, but police say they've begun investigations. They're looking into this. But you will remember the Nyakach Member of Parliament, his name Aduma Owor, came into the limelight, making headlines. He's a first-time member of parliament representing that constituency, but he came into the limelight a few days ago when he dumped a body at the PC's office in Nyakach County, and he was saying that action was to drive a point home that more needs to be done in as far as the crisis and the issue of cattle rustling in that area is concerned. It's a problem that has been going on for a while now, and it has pitted seeing as Nyakach is at the border of Nyanza and Rift Valley, so pitting the communities thereby against each other, and he's accused the people from the Rift Valley coming into his constituency and stealing cattle and at the same time killing area residents. And in fact, it had been alleged that the body which was dumped at the PC's office is a person who had been killed by the cattle rustlers. So the MP had said that despite numerous meetings with the security agencies to have this situation resolved, nothing had been done. And our reporter at the ground, just speaking to residents, they say they think that these killings of his parents could be an act of vengeance by those the area MP has been saying, or rather has been accusing in light of these attacks. But those are allegations. It's still early days. Just hours after, of course, this attack took place, and investigations will commence. And as we continue to get the details, we will update you on what is happening over at Nyakach. So breaking news coming from that part of the country. But let's now talk business. Tanzania is in the East African community to stay and must be respected by neighbors. This is the message by President Jakaya Mwirisho Kikwete that he gave Parliament in an address yesterday afternoon. Philip Ketani tells us more.
Sababu ya wenzetu watatu kuamua kufanya mambo ya usio jumuiya yetu peke yao, kwa kweli sisi hatuelewi. Wanaweza kuwa wanaelewa wenzetu wao zaidi.
Tanzania for several months now has been left out of key agreements meetings attended by Kenya, Rwanda and Uganda as key partners of the East African community. But according to President Kikwete, the actions of his colleague have been against the spirit and the letter of the East African Community Treaty.
Tanzania, Mheshimiwa Spika, haijafanya jambo lolote baya dhidi ya jumuiya au nchi yoyote mwanachama. Kama kuna ushahidi watu waambie tu.
Addressing the Tanzanian parliament, Kikwete further indicated that 76% of his countrymen supported the East African community and only a referendum will determine their future in the community. While now the popular coalition of the willing have been making strides, Tanzania is believed to have been solidifying its position in the Southern African Development Corporation and more recently started courting Burundi and the DRC Congo.
Haiwezekani watu huwaaliki, unajialika wenyewe mnakaa, halafu mnasema the coalition of the willing. Kujenga sura kama vile sisi ambao hatuko pale ndio wale ambao hatuko tayari. Hatujaalikwa. Kama hatujaalikwa, kwa nini waseme wao ndio wa willing na sisi ndio the unwilling?
Insisting that they are in the East African community to stay, Kikwete indicated that he will continue to push for things to be done in the right way. The most recent of the deal signed by the coalition of the willing without Tanzania's input is the launch of a single tourist visa in London.
And cane poaching remains a big challenge to sugar millers, especially in the western part of Kenya. Our reporter Robert Wanyonyi caught up with the managing director of Mumias Sugar, Peter Kebati, who shared his concerns over this menace.
Scarcity of sugarcane in the western Kenya region has led to the growing vice of cane poaching. This has seen sugar millers battle each other in court and sometimes physically, a situation that does not sit well with industry players.
Losing up to maybe 80 tons of sugar per day, also losing the amount that have been used to generate electricity, to produce molasses for purpose of generating the ethanol. So it is significant. It is quite significant.
On a given day, such are the scenes as employees of rival farms engage in protracted tough wars to keep their factories running, sometimes with the blessings of their bosses.
We also have some of our stakeholders like the cane cutters. Imagine you've worked a whole day, you've cut cane, and overnight that cane is stolen. And if the cane doesn't come to our factory, then obviously those cane cutters are not able to be paid.
For Mumia Sugar Company, poaching has in the last few years been their biggest challenge, resulting into financial distress. The results of such activities have seen a depressed farming community going for months without payment of their deliveries to the millers.
We require that support as well, so as to be able to ensure that we are able to meet the expectations, especially of our farmers at this point in time, because we will not be able to pay them at the current price.
It is a vicious battle for raw materials that is taking a different dimension each and every passing day.
Thank you, Robert. And from business, let's talk a little bit of sports. And Cornelius Bet has been trying to break into the major marathon for 5 years, but the competition has been quite stiff. He has targeted the 7th CAS International Marathon as his launching pad this time around. Bet and a host of other athletes from Kapsabet region have been burning and exercising ahead of the November 17th marathon in Eldoret. Joshua Kemboi was in Kapsabet and filed this report for us.
There are slightly under 2 weeks to the 2013 edition of the annual CAS International Marathon. Unlike it has been their tradition since the inception in the year 2007, there could be a new winner on the 17th of November. And here at the Kipchoge Stadium in Kapsabet, these athletes are busy shaping up for the marathon, which will start in Nandi County. Cornelius Bet, a resident of Kaptumo in Nandi County, is one of the many eyeing the top prize.
Lazima nimejiandaa vile mimi nataka nitafute hiyo pesa ya CAS. Pesa ni mingi na mimi naona at least itakuja kunisaidia. Inasaidia watu wangu wenye tunafanya mazoezi wote. Ndajaribu kwa vile nimejiandaa na nimejitoa. Lazima hata mimi niingie bracket ya top 1 mpaka top 10.
He is not alone. Geoffrey Ngetich, Ben Kurgat and Daniel Bohr are also shaping up, though they will be trying their luck in the shorter race, the 12-kilometer race, since they are graduating from the track to road running. Registration for the marathon closes on the 15th of this month. This iconic stadium in Kapsabet, the Kipchoge Stadium, as dilapidated as it is, has continued to provide ground for upcoming athletes to not only prepare for the upcoming CAS Marathon on the 17th, but also for other marathons coming up in the new year. Joshua Kemboi, KTN, in Kapsabet.
Thank you, Joshua. And to rugby news, Kenya Rugby Sevens captain Andrew Amonde and urban contemporary musician Joa Kali were unveiled yesterday as Guinness brand ambassadors. Amonde joins the list of top Kenyan rugby sevens team players who have earned major deals owing to their exceptional performance in the national colours. While speaking during the launch, Amonde used the opportunity to encourage young and upcoming talent to keeping on in terms of their talent and even in hard times, to ensure that they do not give up and that their hard work will pay off in the pitch at some point. Amonde joins Kenya's Sevens teammate Collins Injera to become some of the top rugby players to secure brand endorsements. The Mwamba RFC speedster, having recently secured an endorsement to serve in a similar capacity for leading electronics manufacturer Samsung.
Has not been easy, but through determination and anger to succeed. There is no captain, I don't think, anywhere in the world who has broken from 12th in the world to 5th and 4th at the World Cup in a season.
Indeed, that's your sports news at this hour, 7:27 a.m. As I promised, we have Edgar Scott with us in studio. You see him every morning at 6 a.m. talking to you about what you need to do, encouraging you in workouts. And he is a trainer at the Muscle and Health Fitness Center right here on Mombasa Road at the Vision Plaza. Edgar, good morning.
Morning to you.
Thank you for joining us.
Good to see you too.
You look very serious right now.
Yeah, because I'm serious in terms of workouts and advising people.
Yeah, just look at me. How long have you been doing this?
Well, I've been doing this for the last 12 years now. field of fitness.
Right.
Yes, and I've really liked this game.
Yeah.
It's a game that...
How do you call it a game?
Yeah, it's a good game because it makes me happy. It makes me do anything that I feel like I can do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it upgrades my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, in many things.
So you'd say you're passionate about fitness or about health. What drives you? What keeps you going? I mean, we see people going into it and doing it for a few years or even months and just stopping. So what for you keeps you going?
Yeah, fitness has made me the way what I am. Furthermore, it's like a hobby. I really like it. It's in my blood. And I've been doing it since I started this. I used to be a boxer already.
Okay.
And though I didn't go far away, but I really decided to start teaching people instead of wasting my time after finishing boxing. Then you just there. Then I said I have to teach people and make sure I make them keep fit and I educate them much about fitness.
Right.
Yes.
And we see a lot of sessions you have and classes at the gym. You have a very large, huge gym in terms of the different facilities.
Yes.
For a person who's never worked out, where do they start?
I think, Sophia, I've been saying this before. Before you join any workout and you have never done anything, you have to know your body type, and you should always have an objective you would want to achieve from the gym, not to visiting there to see many people, looking at other people. You know, you have to to have a target. Let's say you join me now at the gym. I'll assess you. And I will definitely ask you your objective. You tell me. I will measure all those kind of waist ratio, blood pressure. I get to know your body type. Once I get that, I will do for you a personal program that you'll be following throughout in the month. Let's say 3 months. And after that, I will look at you. If the program I've made for you, is it really working for you or not? If it goes like for 6 weeks, there is no change, I have to change that program to make you, to find, to find out that this can help you, this cannot help you.
Okay.
Then if you maybe wanted to lose weight and you wanted to farm, then I have to recommend you either go for swimming outside there, because maybe the machines we have, they cannot give you what you're looking for. Or I can tell you now, do power walking outside the stadium or anywhere. Yeah, then you come back.
Yes, and it's important that you say that, because most of the time when people just decide maybe they want to lose weight or whatever they want to do, they'll just jump in there and do all manner of exercises and workouts. And I know for each of us who is part of the workouts that we do for Express Workout, we've done those body tests. I did one, and you took me through even my body type, and you know, so you come across different body types. Take us through some of them. And it's so very important that our viewers know that it's important to do that. It's a test that's conducted to understand your blood pressure, the body type, really at the end of the day, your composition.
Yes. Well, we have like 3 body types of people. But the first one is endomorph. Endomorph, these are people like having weak joints and tall. So these people are very hard. They take long to achieve their goals. And when they eat food, they gain the body early, the fat percentage early. So it disturbs us trainers to find what can make them lose weight. But we normally put them together as in a group training. That's aerobics we do to find out. You definitely see these people, they don't move that as much as it's supposed to go. You recommend it. And you find that the mesomorph type of body, this is someone that she or he does not need to know, I just want to go. You see, even though she's not changing or he's not changing, for them they just want to keep on doing it. So you find that for her or for him is just enjoying it, music-wise, keeping his mind like alert, only that. He doesn't want to lose. That's mesomorph. Then we come to ectomorph. These are people who are serious. They come to gym to build muscles. And they don't want to lose. When they come to aerobics, they just want to keep it like, just want to enjoy this. Though they don't know the moves, but they just want to be there. You know, and they gain early. Yes.
And quickly.
It's
easier for them to get
when
ready.
they stay out of the gym, they go back to zero.
Okay.
You know, sometimes they lift heavy weights.
Yeah.
Then they bulk up the muscles. Then what happened after they are out of the gym? Let's say 3 weeks. These are the people who do maybe supplements to support them. Then they go down free.
Completely. And if you're watching this and you have any question for Edgar in terms of health and fitness, do send them in. We'll also be showing you in a short while some of those simple exercises you can do at home. And that's why, I mean, at the gym there are machines and we could use them in our workouts, but we choose not to. We do simple workouts that somebody can do at home as they watch. It's just really to encourage people to get to do that. So most of the people who come to the gym, because there are quite a number of people that come to your gym, what do they mostly want to achieve for most when you speak to them?
A number of those that who comes to our place, they just want to lose weight, and some do want to keep fit, but those who want to keep fit are less. But those who want to lose weight
are many.
Many, I'm telling you, we have like 300 who comes every day,
to lose weight.
But the problem is that they are not consistent. Whereby it also draws down their momentum. If your trainer has you design a program for a person like that one who wants to achieve in a quick time, then you find that she or he is not coping up with the exercise or with the program that you've done for him. It disturbs us more. Then you find this person just tries the exercise. Once they feel pain little, they just quit out.
Okay.
And they stay away for 2 weeks, then they come back.
All right.
But we have many machines that we really advise them to start with. We do send them to wave machine, to a cross trainer, step ups, so that they can keep their body stable before they come to normal physical exercises.
Okay, so I want you to take us through that, because we know, of course, there are quite a number of people out there who, I've heard that people will talk about, I want to lose weight, I want this to happen, but they'll rarely get to working on it. But for those who do, let's take us through some of the things they need to keep in mind. And one of the things you have said now, very important, is that they must be consistent.
Yes.
The consistency, that when they begin, they need to follow through.
Exactly.
And I know one of the questions even you ask in your program is how many days do you have available to work out? So for somebody who's starting out and they want to lose weight, so one, consistency.
Yes.
Should they do 5 days a week, 3 days a week? How many days should they commit to at least?
For the first, someone who has never done an exercise, she or he has to come for 5 days to remove that pain, because when you join exercise, you start getting some pain. So when you stay away, it will draw down your moment. You won't feel like you to go ahead.
Okay.
So you need to come out for 5 days, in that your body reaches to a stage that you can now control it. Then you draw down another program that gives you for 4 days or 3 days, depending to your objective.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I want us to stand in a short while. I want us to stand and just show some of those simple exercises that, of course, when they start, you don't start them on the very intense workouts, although at some point it will get there, but they start simple, they start small.
Exactly.
So I think we can stand and we can just show some of our viewers some of those simple. Is it okay, Director? Okay, so let's just some of the simple workouts people can do at home.
That is good.
Right.
So what you do when you're home there, you stand, you keep your legs apart. First, you stretch your body before doing anything.
Okay.
You go down slowly, looking in front like this.
Okay, we're going to have him doing more of this.
And come up and square your hands like that. You just do it like 15 times. Yeah. You go like that. 15 times doing this, and this will stretch your hamstring and glutes muscles everywhere.
Right.
Then you have to reach, you take your reach over your head like that.
Right.
Exactly. Then when you are stretching, you're stretching your external obliques and the upper arms.
Right.
Now you have to change still another side. Preparation for the muscle. Get to know which kind of exercise are you guys gonna do. You twist your waist so that your lumbar spine cannot get any pain or any injury.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you have to bring your legs together.
Okay. So stretching is important.
Very, very important.
To make sure that just your body is warmed up, it's easy, you're free.
So stretching is a preparation of exercise.
Okay.
And you have to stretch before, in between, and after. Because always muscles get crunched sometimes.
So those are the stretches.
Yeah. Now when you finish that, you need to keep what we call cardio. You can do
So what does cardio do for you when you...
Cardio is just blood pumping, try to prepare your body in action so that you don't get bored, you know. There are things that you just come up, you do from nowhere and they happen.
Yes. You shock your body.
Exactly, you shock your body. And this brings muscle cramp in a longer while. So you need to warm up slowly. As in the long run, the tense comes in, you start jogging, slow there. From jogging, some do. By the way, there are people over here, home there who are using skipping ropes.
Yes.
It's not advisable for anyone to just go for skipping rope before knowing your body weight. Because whenever you skip like this, you put more pressure to a knee and it brings pain later. So that's why I say...
There are people who have a lot of those problems, knee problems, and they don't know what that is. It's because of that pressure.
Definitely.
They have too much weight.
Sure. That's why we always give them really light warm-up from the top.
Yeah, you can join us right now, man. I know I'm not properly dressed for this, but...
yeah, just like this. So they come still stepping side
So this is all to warm up the body.
Yeah, exactly.
Very important.
Exactly. So the second thing, you lift your knee high to boost your momentum to that level that you are.
And how high does it go?
It should be 90 to 45 degrees over here. Yeah, though some people do lift the knee low shortly, but it should be here.
Yes.
Over 90 degrees.
90 degrees.
Yes.
There.
Yeah. When you do several, then you have to come back and stretch since you have warmed up. Now you do serious exercise. You can easily crunch you in your house. This goes to the center line of your abdominal, internal obliques, and external.
So when you're talking about center line, those are very many years, terminology. Someone at home, Mama Mkenyumani, Mama Mboga, explain that.
Definitely. We have like 6 muscles in the abdominal.
Yeah.
So we divide them as we exercising. Every exercise attaches to a certain muscle.
Yes.
So when you keep your elbow our right leg across, you need to crunch. This goes directly squeezing the lower tummy. That's the major part that disturbs many ladies over there. So when you do several, you'll start feeling some light pain in the socket joint here. So you need to change. Anytime you feel like you have done several number of repeats, you feel pain.
How many
have
should
to
they
change.
do?
They should be 20 below.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20, 15, come down. Then you change. And you repeat
the
like 4 sets or 3 sets. So
and you always say while doing that, you say to keep the stomach tight. Why is that? You say like hold it in tight.
Definitely, because this is where you control, you exercise the internal muscles. Your internal muscles can never exercise when you are breathing in and out. And there's nothing you can do without tightening your stomach.
So you tighten the stomach and also remember to breathe
properly. It's like talking. Now, when you're talking, you need to tighten your stomach with sound. When you stop, so it's a good exercise that works in the internal muscles for the abdominal. That's why sometimes you see me, I want to give you some exercise. I don't tap so that I maintain the abdominal and I get those
So it's more effective if
very,
you're not
very
tapping.
Effective. Exactly. Yeah, if you don't tap down the floor, you don't bounce. Because bouncing, some of them may not know the technique, right? Because since there are many, they put pressure over there. You see them bouncing, which
so
is not advisable.
Bouncing is bad.
Yeah, you put your heel there, the top, up, then you cross one.
Then you cross.
Yeah, it's a light tap from the floor.
Just a light tap.
Exactly.
Not.
Yeah, I see they do like this because they are tired. You know? All right. If you finish that, then you need to go to squats.
Squats.
Which is a very, very good exercise still for people with big hips and big glutes.
Yes.
This one, you know, this muscle owns a lot of fats according to a human.
Yeah.
Now you need to squat without anything, no weight. And anytime you're squatting, don't do like the way Sophia does because she has heels.
So
you need to stay like that and you make sure your knee is not going above the...
Yes.
Yeah, you're sure.
So not like this.
No, not like this.
Okay, so this is I'm showing you the wrong way not to do it.
No. It should be you keep your chest up.
Okay.
Chest up, chin up. Good.
You always say
that.
Great.
Exactly.
Okay.
Then you do several of them. Now you start back lunging like this. You just you just stay in this position for a while. To learn exchanges, you need to stay here for a while. Then you finish and change. Yeah, I always see people do interchanging legs, but you find that they don't always measure the distance.
So what does that work on as well?
This works on the quadriceps and the lower abdominal still.
So what does it do for
the thighs? It firms them, and it really gives some strength.
Okay.
Because when you're here, your weight is on the right leg. And this makes the leg firm.
So the pressure is there.
Tightened, yes.
Yeah.
So we do still adductors. This is where people have problems because there are few exercises for this part. You start stretching them like that.
Okay.
Yeah. There are very many. You in house
I'm
now
in
warming
heels,
up.
so yeah, when you don't have heels, this is what to do.
Exactly.
Yes, we're learning what to do. Okay, so that also just all about lower body strength.
Exactly.
Many women, okay, first before we go to because I want to talk about upper body strength as well, but the issue with the middle, a lot of people, now the joke that goes out is that in Kenya nowadays we have many pregnant men, you know, it's so big, and women also with the love handles. Like when you hold like this, there's a whole, you know, so obliques. Yes. So there's a whole problem going on here. Why is it that the biggest problem is around this area?
Yeah, well, when ladies give birth, you know, the problem comes in from here because the ladies have a lot of fats into their muscle.
Okay.
So the stomach comes bigger.
But even those who are not pregnant.
Yes, even those
teenagers, we are seeing them with big.
Those who have not given birth yet, they have still they don't have a hard time to take care of.
Okay.
But those people with a hard time, these are the people who have given birth. It becomes flabby fast. They receive such stretch marks over there. So if I think something is just hanging here.
That's for the women who've given birth. But for the men, what is going on? Why are they getting pregnant, looking pregnant? And
for the men, you know, they eat a lot of things over there.
Yeah.
And the men, one thing disturbs them. They have this kind of, is it cool? Can I do this?
Yeah,
you know?
so beer,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So when they go to exercise, even they tell them, do this, they don't feel like, how can you tell me to do this?
So what you're saying in essence then, even as we're keeping fit, a lot of nutrition goes a long way. What you're eating and how you manage that, and also just keeping fit so that you look good.
Yeah.
Okay.
You need to eat nicely for your diet very well. If you know, some people do go on the website and download what's pasted there.
Yeah.
It's I don't always follow such ideas because, you know, with the European diet, white people or Europeans, they use sometimes supplements, and their body is quite different with us Africans. We eat natural food sometimes. Now you find that theirs, it's always stay in the fridge for a while, then you have to eat.
All right, so you need to manage what we eat and work out. So
yeah, sure.
This I hear also is the last place when you're losing weight that this is where to last go.
Exactly.
So what are some of the exercises to
for the core?
For the core. Yes,
well, you can now sit home if you're down.
You can go down.
Exactly.
Going down.
You stay on your back.
Yes.
Like this. The first exercise you're gonna do, don't lift your body. You may not be able to carry all body up. You do what we call flutter. Flutter, you just lift this leg.
Okay.
Yes, in 90, and lift the other right off the floor, 20 degrees away.
Just so the other one just slightly off.
Exactly.
Yes.
Now you keep your index finger in the ear. You get off the floor and down, 20 degrees still. Remember, don't have
but
to...
someone who's starting off, will they be able to do that? Or what are those easy ones you can start off with?
The easiest way.
This is easy.
Even this one is very easy.
Okay.
Even you can interchange your legs if you can't go while holding here.
Right.
For those with the back pain, they can easily support themselves.
Okay, so look at that support.
Yeah. Yes. They support themselves with their hands. Then you interchange.
Yes.
So that you don't get injured in your back.
Yeah. So important to have that, the hands back there.
Exactly.
Support.
Yeah. Sure. Still, they can easily pull the legs, arms against the knee like this. Slowly like that.
Yeah. Because what we see, like you're saying, slowly, it's good because some people do and then they just fall back. Poof.
Definitely.
Come back.
I know they do like this.
And then,
it keeps on, you know, it's a funny way. You don't have to do that. You need to take your time as you're getting off the floor. You keep your chest like that.
And keep your focus up.
Exactly, like this.
Like the ceiling or something, yes.
You're sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, amazing.
Even for the side oblique, you don't have to lift both legs. If your weight, you have too much hip over there.
So you have
can
easily, handles.
you can easily put your left hand supporting you, index over there.
Yeah.
Then you lift slow, one leg. You get me? That. It should not be like this. Yeah, they do things on
like
the
you're
shot.
about to die.
Yeah, just lift a little bit out against the elbow. You need to change even the other side.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
anytime you finish, you need to stretch your back. Like
So that's the way to go.
Exactly.
So lie down, stretch it, so you don't have those crazy pains after.
Exactly, and you need to
Okay, and
come
then you
over
do
there
that.
and come over this.
So that's part of the stretches when you've done those
For
workouts.
the abdomen, yes.
Okay.
And pull over the knee.
Pull the knee.
Good. Just
For a
then you
while.
change again. Exactly.
Okay, so those are some of the workouts and exercises and what to do in terms of stretching. Another issue, and we're focusing more on the women right now because I've heard more of these problems with them. When it comes to lifting this and carrying their own weight, press-ups, we see some people do it very easily, but for many it's a challenge just doing that, you know. So how can you build that strength? And also I know there's some that you put the legs across and you have the knees bent. So how does one get that strength? Because
to support.
Yes, you have to be very strong upper body strength to be able to lift your own weight.
Okay. You make sure that at home you have a very spongy mat.
Spongy mat.
Yes.
Not some hard surface.
Exactly. When you're here, you don't have to go all the way down here. You will stay there forever. But now, I want you to try this. Halfway, a little bit. This elbow go out.
A little bit.
Yes. You don't have to go up to here. And you always have to keep your back straight.
Okay.
As you're doing this kind of stuff. I've seen many people do it like this.
Yes,
so
that's what they do. They
when you
lift
leave this bit up, you won't be doing anything. You'll be like wasting your time, you know.
So as you do that, what strength are you building? Which part?
You're working on the chest muscles. This is gaining the agility and the upper arms, because this is where the weight goes to support your whole body, because your hands are somewhere here. So now what happened? The chest gets the exercise and the upper arms over here, because you need one arm, right? So you trim the upper arms, even though it may not happen that actual time, but slowly by slowly, the more you keep on doing it, you go. Another way, you can easily interchange slow.
So one side.
The
other side.
Side and side.
Side by side.
Other than going straight, okay?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So some of the simple workouts, we're just trying to tackle some of those areas. We've been getting quite a number of questions on that, on how to just easily build that upper body strength. You can have a seat now.
Okay.
Build that upper strength as well as the lower body strength. And so very quick things as we take a break now that you need people to remember is, one, when they begin, they need to be consistent.
Exactly.
Not starting one day. And it's common. Many people, I think it's just discipline. They need to have that discipline and that desire to want it badly enough to work on it.
Exactly.
So discipline, watch what they eat as well. Drink lots of water. What else?
Yeah, furthermore, taking water is very good, because you can easily fail to lose weight or to achieve your goal if you don't take your water. If you, for instance, want to burn fat out of your body, you have to take like 8 liters every day in the training, after and before, let me say, because this prepares on detoxifying more toxin out of you through the urine and everywhere, whatever. But now, even men, those who want to build muscles, you can stay in the same place. I'm not building. Coaches have been here for many days. What happened? Because you don't take water, then the muscle becomes stiff. You were just a round shape, you know. There's nothing changes, because very few people take water in the gym. Some do feel like, when I take water, I feel like I want to throw up, you know. But it's so important to take water. Yes.
And I'm sure very many women would want this advice given to their men.
Exactly.
Who have this, what we call vitambis. So
sure.
What do you tell those men who are looking pregnant? What do they need to do?
Those men who are looking that way.
Yes.
I want to discourage you, I won't scare you, but you guys have to wake up. Today, I'm telling you, the days to come, things are very, very hard, and you need to join the gym. Don't ignore exercises. Try slowly by slowly. Don't say, I'm very busy, I'm committed about business. We know you are committed, but try to exercise. Work out.
And even if they don't go to the gym, they can jog.
Exactly,
you can
walk. Yes,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't advise someone who weighs 130 kilograms to start jogging.
Okay.
Because she or he may not get the response immediately for pain, but the pain will start coming in, going to the... You know what happens, discouraging people, once one gets a back pain,
they stop.
and knee, they stop.
Yeah.
And
So
this
they need
is
to
something,
be guided
because
by a
remember,
professional,
you,
yeah.
the body has no spare. So these guys get scared. Oh, it's like an accident. I didn't have this, and
Yeah,
I've got it.
yeah.
So always stretching after a workout or in anything you do, but jogging when you are
Right.
all that kind of kilos, don't have to. You need to go. Even those who do go to the gym, they go to the treadmills all the time. They go to the treadmills. They think the treadmill will solve the equation.
Yeah.
It's it's not true.
Okay.
Yeah, they have to do light exercises and they
Alright.
keep on stretching.
And keep on stretching. Thank you so much, Edgar. We appreciate you. And there's, there we are. Oh, that's
exactly.
Edgar over there in front, and that's me getting tired, and then we start jumping again. Look at that going. What kind of workout is that, by the way?
Oh, this is called jumping jacks,
Jumping
and
jacks.
it's a good one for cardio. Let's
Yeah.
say you don't have to go to treadmill. You can warm up preparation for the muscles to get the exercise.
Yeah, and
If you
that
wanna
is
do it-
tough, by the way,
Yeah,
doing
it's a
that,
very,
I know.
very good one.
Yeah.
If you happen to do 30 or 50, but guys who are really doing it, yeah, my boss is doing like 100.
Your boss, that's
Yes,
100
and
of this?
Yes, guys do serious things over there.
Yeah.
You know what happened now, Press? We are supporting each other, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, all the trainers are the same. We promote yourself. You find even there are trainers inside there.
Yes.
They join and they really like
And what is that you're doing now?
And now this is cross knee run.
Uh-huh.
You just cross the knee, it's for abdominal.
Yes.
When you stand that position, you gain agility. Stomach is achieving something.
Yeah.
Your back is straight. You know,
Yes.
see triceps are working out.
Yes.
I think you can check out my arm up there. Yeah, everything is.
Yeah, we
really-
can check out your arm up there. All right. So, very important then, as you said, especially for someone who's starting off, it is good to have that advice from an instructor, a trainer, in
Yes.
terms of what kind of workouts to do, what will be good for them so they don't get those injuries that, as you said, inadvertently will discourage them.
Exactly.
And that is also good. What do you call this
This
one?
is mountain climbing.
And they can do this at home.
They can do it. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
what kind of the exercise we're giving out on Morning Express, anyone can be able to do them at home.
Yeah.
Because they are no speed.
Yeah.
You take your time. You can do several like you and then you want
Yeah.
before going to work.
Yes.
We understand guys are very busy, but you can spare, let's say, 10 minutes or 5 minutes.
Yes.
And they achieve something.
To be able to do this workout.
Yes.
Yeah, so they look easy and we look like we're just, going
Yeah,
through it,
see,
but it's not.
It's not. It's
But
not
it's good. It's a good workout. Thank you so much, Edgar, for joining us this morning.
Yeah.
And I like that you've given all that advice, and I hope you're watching us at home. Just keep that in mind. If you're just starting out, it's good to have a trainer, someone to guide you,
Exactly.
to also know your body type, so
Yeah.
you know what you want and be clear about your goals.
Yes. Still, I would advise Sophie, like we normally advise people to visit us
Yeah.
and say, let's say, let them know their body type.
Uh-huh.
Though they cannot pay the gym or they live far, let them pay us a visit and we let them know. We educate them what they're supposed to. The first step to another step.
Okay.
Because going to the gym, you may go to a gym, maybe there are no facilities that you can test your body, tell you more, and you find that you just do.
Okay, sawa. Asante sana Edgar Scott joining us this morning, a trainer at Muscle and Health Fitness Center, the Vision Plaza off Mombasa Road. And I hope you've just picked a few of those tips you can use at home anytime you are on the Morning Express. It is now 7:56 a.m. We want to take a short break. When we return, we have Shanti Lo, an international jazz maestro from Botswana. He's in the country. He will be performing this Saturday at a concert dubbed Joy of Jazz. And also, we're still to talk about entertainment news, what's happening in the world of showbiz with Smita. He's in the house. I can see him already in studio. We're talking about what's happening in the Nairobi and what stories are being reported there, and the Pulse as well. So we have still lots more for you. This 8th day of November, where we're saying TGIF, thank God it's Friday. And I'm joined now by Peter Ndoria, who's sub-editor of the Pulse, and Smita, also a columnist with the Pulse news. Is it a newspaper?
Yeah.
You call it a paper.
It's a fantastic magazine.
It's a magazine. That's the word.
It's a
magazine.
weekly magazine.
Weekly magazine,
yes.
And it's been there for years.
Yeah, it's been. Yeah, we are celebrating our 10th anniversary.
A decade.
Yeah.
So mtoi alizaliwa 10 years ago. Sahi wako the same age na Pulse.
Primary school.
Primary school.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with you, Ndori.
I never like it when guys tell me I used to read you in Primo. And then that part, then in college.
The Pulse today. Business of brands is the headline. What is this story about?
Basically, it's looking at there's all this celebrity vibe.
Yes.
And there are those people who understand that there's a commercial side to it. And there's every other product in business.
Right.
How you brand yourself is what makes a difference.
Yeah.
It's not about the groupies and the fame and the hype. It's about business. Is it bringing you cash at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those who understand it, that's where the difference comes in.
Right.
Yeah. So we're looking at those who know that. Where it's like a pecking order. Yeah.
All right.
I liked a story that our Jalango, who's with us here in Radio Maisha, when Sleepy wanted his fees tripled from 50 in Guanyese, he was saying now he's on TV, now he wants triple the fees.
Yeah, 150.
And then a street urchin came up, and as Jalango gave him money, the guy said that niaje Jalash, the street urchin.
Yeah.
So Jalash was giving him cash, and then he said, no, that's Sleepy. Eh? Yeah. And the Chokos looked at Sleepy, and he had no idea who he was. Yeah. So Jalash said,
the day this guy can recognize you.
Yes.
Yeah. So in essence, building a brand, does it always then mean that if you're a brand, you're easily recognizable by everybody?
I believe you're a celebrity, or consider yourself a celebrity.
I don't.
No, I'm saying not you. I'm saying generally.
I consider you a celebrity.
Generally.
Yeah, but
generally, if you consider yourself a celebrity, you shouldn't have a problem being recognized.
I'm not. So yes, continue, Peter. If you consider yourself a celebrity,
you shouldn't have a problem. I don't think Eric Omondi can get lost in somewhere in town. Guys like this Eric, we know this guy.
Eric.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to tell. Eric Omondi doesn't have to walk up to you and tell you I'm Eric Omondi.
Yeah. Every time Paul seems like
Eric. Exactly.
Including with the
crazy things.
The tricky bit is this usually. You meet guys who someone did a song 2 years ago, one song, no video. And he keeps telling me, I want a story.
Yeah.
I want you to do a story, a full page. I'm like, why?
Yeah, but also what is concerning nowadays is that the pressure to build these brands to be easily recognizable, some want it to happen overnight, and they're turning to crazy things, doing some not so virtuous, as would be described by some. What's your take? We're seeing a lot of that happening in the entertainment industry now. Smita?
Okay, let me take that one first. Yeah, I think all these social tools, it's not like when Pulse started like 10 years ago. There's the Facebook, the Twitter, you can upload things, you can do so many things. And there's an era, we have entered an era of impatience. Yeah? I mean, I'll tell you the number of people, like now you're on TV, right now your face is recognized. And you find somebody, me, I'm even nasty, at least you talk to guys, like now we're on Morning Express.
Yeah.
You find some random girl in the club, is that me, I want to be like Sophia immediately. I want to be an anchor. This is just like be famous now mentality.
Happen.
Yeah. Like now. So some people no developing of any talent.
Yeah.
You just say, okay, I've got a big bottom, and then you take pictures of your bottom. And
or
then
you twerk.
Yeah.
Twerk it.
Yeah.
People see it becomes a viral video, and then everybody knows you.
Yeah.
It's a social media kind of thing.
Andy Warhol said in the future, everyone will be famous for 15 seconds.
Not in the future. Actually,
it's happening.
It's happening, right? What is happening? There's a magazine which wrote about it, the me generation.
Yeah.
You post something on Facebook or Twitter, and then people like it. That thrill of a like or comment, you're a celebrity for that time.
Yes.
So
all attention is on you.
It's on you.
Yeah.
So you're a mini celebrity for that moment, and it becomes addictive. You want it all the time. So I'll put some.
So
I'll
keep
put
doing
something
crazy stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the crazier it gets, the more attention I get, the more of a celebrity I am.
Like what we've seen with Miley Cyrus in the international scene. I mean, the things she's been doing, from the twerking now to the naked, videos, and we've seen some of these celebrities do that to gain mileage. And now we're seeing it happening locally. But I think very important also for the young generation to remember that when you're 40 years old, you'll still be like, whoa, that's me, I'm looking, this is gonna stay on. It's something that needs to be remembered, yeah?
Yeah, I think it's because we are at the start of the cycle, so the consequences are not yet being felt, yeah, but 20 years from now, somebody mean in school, bullying will have changed.
Yeah.
Somebody will be like, your mother was a whore. And here's the evidence. Yeah? I mean, like when, we used to do mchongo, yeah? There'll come a time, yeah, when even kids being mean will be like, yeah, your mother was a whore here.
And the internet doesn't forget.
Yeah. The internet does not forget. Yeah.
So you posted something
20
years ago?
Yeah. So for you who interact with this, I mean, most of these celebrities, some just want to call themselves that and all, and the socialites, that thing is coming up. What would be your words of advice and also caution in terms of just the things we're seeing them putting out there? And I think for me, sometimes I think, do they realize that everything has consequences?
I wouldn't give a word of advice. Since we're all learning, I'd give a word of caution. The internet does not forget.
Okay, so put it out there and it will always be there.
Exactly.
All right. Smita, hutaki kusema kitu hapo?
No, me just say develop your talent. The guys who you're bringing here, you brought a muscle man.
Yes.
Yeah, he's good at doing exercises. There's a fellow from Botswana. He's here all the way from Gaborone or wherever because of his jazz talent. Yeah, but I'm sure if you sit here with the so-called socialite, it will just be for entertainment value at their expense. Yeah, I remember I did a story for a socialite.
Yeah,
she thanked me at 7 in the morning, and by 11, she was like, "You've ruined my life."
Why?
Because I brought out exactly as she said, how she goes to clubs, how she's left home. Yeah, she didn't talk to her dad because he refused to give her money for college. She wanted the money to help her with her party life so that she's famous. It's ridiculous. You can't be famous for being famous.
Let's go to these pictures that are on page 5 of the Pulse today. And this is the rain dance. So is it raining? Oh, it's called the rain dance.
It's actually raining.
Yeah, it's actually raining.
It's actually raining.
Yeah, it was actually raining.
Okay, but is there a rain dance? They're like, rain dance, like
maybe
rain falling.
One.
Yeah, no, that's an idea.
I see it all the time in the streets in Nairobi when it starts raining, and the guys
Oh, so that can be the rain dance.
Yeah, that's the rain dance.
Or manyunyu. We are so creative. We can come up with a rain dance right now.
That's what the Nigerians do all the time anyway. They always have got these ridiculous quick dances.
We should have one now.
Kenyans, So
invented Morning Express, the rain dance.
All socialites out there.
Yeah.
To come up with
the rain dance.
Okay, and so there's pictures of that. I don't know if you can see them very clearly, but they're on your screen right now. And then there's Mercy and Kaz reunite. Are they singing? Or they're just the spotting together?
Wow. Yeah.
And there's a chick here who's twerking. If y'all see my wife, tell her I'm never coming home. Who's this? Oh my gosh. This just reminds me of the video, the performance of Miley again. And that, what's his name?
You don't like Miley.
Not that I don't, it's just that she...
No, wait for it. You are not alone.
I don't have a problem with her. I just think, I hope she...
No, Miley had to upstage Lady Gaga, so...
And Rihanna, and take that.
She's grown up.
And she's all grown up. And the spotlights today in the Pulse, Nigeria-based Kenyan singer and model Kelma. She's beautiful. Talks to Kevin Ogoko about the reason she left for Nigeria. A run-in with the law and how she intends to make a grand comeback into Kenyan showbiz.
Kelma, for the longest time, and I must confess, me used to find her very hot in the middle, so maybe this is a bit of jealousy-driven. Don't stop looking at me like that.
Are we listening?
Kelma was with a drag guy. Yeah, he's wanted by drug. And I remember in Mombasa, I was like, this girl of yours, this boyfriend, he reminded me of a certain type that I've met in Eastern Europe. So yes, I was trained to chuje, but at the same time,
you had interest.
Yeah, see, I've confessed.
He declared his interest first.
Okay, so
back then. Yeah, but then I don't know. I mean, she's talking about weed and stuff.
Yeah.
You read the story, look at her eyes. She looks, yes, she's pretty, but she looks...
yeah, she looks like, she'll be
eyes are a bit glassy. Yeah.
She could be a hard-working kid.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough sleep. I'll be the devil's advocate.
Yeah. She's saying she wants to come back and is hoping to make it big in Kenya. Will she?
No.
I don't remember her.
No.
She won't?
No.
What do you think, Peter?
I think, unless I'm trying to be friendly, I think you guys are... Okay. At the end of the day, it depends on her work.
And her strategy
always
to get back on top.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It always depends on, do you have a plan? Do you have something different?
When your dream is to win a Grammy and make a speech on weed, for me it shows certain unclear thought.
Yes,
people should read that story. But you have to lay my bet. Yeah, this is as famous as Kelma gets. Page 6 of Pulse.
No, what if she pulls up Fela Kuti? Now that she's from Nigeria.
What's pulling up?
Fela Kuti used to do enough of that.
Fela Kuti was a genius. That's the difference. Yeah.
Okay. Smita, by the way, I will agree with that person who told you that they were, they've been reading about you since them days. I remember this page on page 7 of the Pulse, Vitendawili, the last days of October, seen at Smita Smitten. And you've been around.
Now, me, you can't call me a brand.
You've been around.
Me, you're just saying I've been around.
See, that brand has been around.
Me, I've just been around.
The brand Smita has been around. Let me change that. Okay, this brand is getting stronger as we go along. What do you have today on your column here?
No, last week I just had the strangest week. Every weekday I woke up in a different bed. Yeah. I woke up in a different bed.
That sounds
Monday, Tuesday.
Yes. So that's what I'm looking at you like. What?
Yeah, so people should just buy and read.
You woke up in a different bed every day last week.
Yeah, Vitanda. You've heard of Vitanda Wheel?
Yeah. So this is Vitanda.
I was on Vitanda Tano. I was on Vitanda Tano.
Vitanda Tano, the last days of October. It's been crazy.
Yeah.
So find out what he's been up to on his waking up in 5 different beds.
Monday, I didn't wake up in the same bed. Tuesday, another bed.
Okay.
Vitu kama
hizo. All right, let's continue with the underdogs back. Upcoming artists are now sharing the limelight with their more established colleagues, some considering themselves better than the bigger stars and making outrageous demands. As you mentioned, I've seen that is one of the stories here on Sleepy, saying, yeah, I want my salary tripled. And then you told, until somebody can be like, oh, that's Sleepy.
Yeah.
Then you shouldn't make this kind of demand. Get there first. Patience. Yeah? And grow and build that brand.
People tend to assume these guys just go there overnight.
You are an underdog, you are a mbwa ya chini. Siku moja atakuwa mbwa ya juu.
Yeah, true. You can see Eric Omondi there. He's really done well for himself, hasn't he?
Yes.
And actually, even in the story, they talk about there's a time he tried to branch off when he was still not yet.
Yes. The how are you?
And he tried 2 different shows.
Yeah.
And it didn't work for him. So he learned his lesson, came back. Grew to what he is right now.
Yes. He went back under the mentorship of Churchill.
Exactly.
And now he's that big that even as Churchill, if one day he ever does retire, we know that Eric will be the...
So what happens is Churchill has moved on to another level.
Yes.
So even Churchill, even he says, there are things I can't do. It's not about the money, it's about the brand. So if you invite him for a birthday party, even if you can afford his fees, you're killing the brand. He'll refer you to one of his underlings.
And what's amazing also about the brand he's managed to, just cut out for himself is that he's created that platform for everybody else.
Exactly.
You see, when he opens the show on Churchill, and then there are all these other people who will come on and do the comedy and all these things. So it's amazing that even as you build your brand, doesn't mean that you hog all the space and want to be the only comedian that everybody knows. It shows that actually with helping other people grow, that in itself is amazing.
I like that you said you don't hog. I like that. You just hog.
I think it's okay. Maybe it's a basic principle in life. You can't do everything. Yeah. So it's either you hold on to these small things you're doing down there.
Yeah.
And your hands are your hands are full, so you cannot grab the bigger things.
Yes.
That's simple.
You remember the famous things where guys would write a script, they would produce it, they act in it.
Yeah.
You get your girlfriend to be your co-starring.
Is there another story you want us to have a look at today in the Pulse? What's
the last
of particular interest will be page 22.
Yes.
Page 22. Tell us.
There's been this week there's been a story about JB and Tina Kagia. Apparently, these guys got married more than a month ago. Secretly. Yeah. No one knew about it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Says it's style.
I know, so this just happened.
Yeah, it's but this one's weddings.
They got married, and it stayed for more than a month.
Okay.
So, Tina Kagia posted photos of what she called a family gathering, and it took like 2-3 days to no. So that back and forth.
Yeah.
Insisting it was my. At some point she was like it was my father's birthday. Like,
yeah, but the point was it was in an office.
Yeah.
A family gathering in an office.
Yeah.
Yeah. What sort of family is that?
Yeah.
Let's gather. Yeah, let's gather. Well, where shall we gather in an office?
The only family that meets in an office is the African Union.
Yeah. So
okay. So when was this found out? When did you realize it was a wedding?
Apparently, the guys who had tried to find. She confirmed on Wednesday this week.
Peter, just get to it. You just hustled.
You got the information.
Yeah.
Had you suspected though?
You see these two photos? They're the giveaways.
Yeah.
Yeah. She denied. She denied. Like, look here. On photo 1, you don't have a ring. On photo 2, you have a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're married. It's becoming the in thing.
Yeah, secret weddings.
Secret weddings.
Yeah.
No, but for them, they actually explained. They want to, you need to formalize it first.
Yeah.
But they want to do the bigger ceremony for everyone else and everything much later.
So they plan to do something.
Okay, they were tired of fornicating. Or they wanted, of living in sin. Yeah, because Doria is just beating around the bush.
Okay. Interesting. So some of the stories you'll find today in the Pulse pull out of the Standard as Smita decides he has what. But I want to look at the gossip page. As Smita decides, people were. I won't even repeat
it. Living in sin. Yeah, they wanted it to be, to be legit. Yeah. But some of these things, you want it legit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the gossip page. Overheard and quite a number of stories here. Jaguar comes to the aid of Jim Watts, aid. I saw a tweet actually in the course of the week. Somebody was saying that he paid his medical bills. What's going on there?
On Sunday, he actually visited Jim Watts and chipped in. Okay, largely because Jim Watts is due for several operations, and of course they all have cost implications. So he came in and basically paid what was at that point had been left behind.
He gave the mom 80 grand.
80 G's, yeah.
And then Jaco has almost got a charity every week, which I like. I mean, because the other week it was the Alliance boy, the school fees, he went, he paid some 95,000. Yeah, I sense a Sonko like political move, but I'm happy that he's actually
said what I was thinking.
Yeah,
I saw it on social media.
Yeah,
someone was like,
he's setting the stage.
2017.
Yeah.
Jaguar.
There's something definitely.
Wait and see. Then there's Nyashinsky.
Nyashinsky.
Santai are back. So this week seems to have been one for the stars who went underground to bid for a comeback. So will they?
He's I don't know. Okay, maybe it's personal bias, but for me, Kanta is bankable. No, that guy is creative.
No, for me, Kanta is alcohol problems. Me, I told him to drink like me. It's a delicate balancing act. But Nyashinsky, kama ningekuwa msanii wa sanaa,
kabisa. What was that group? Kleptomaniacs.
My man is on Nyashinsky.
Mine is on
Can
Kansai.
you say that real fast?
Nyashinsky.
Some Arakan 3 times.
Nyashinsky. I've ever figured 3.
He's going to say that.
Say 5 times.
Nyashinsky.
Kusha. Number 1 you've dropped. Okay, and of course.
Willie Paul.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's a great story.
There's been suspicion that he might not be sitting his papers. He was supposed to be doing, especially if you look at on his wall, there's a story about him going to the US, New Jersey concerts. And then this guy posts on Facebook at 11:45 a.m. should be sitting a paper at some point.
Yeah.
You're busy posting photos. Even a fan asked him, kwani unabebanga simu kwa exam room?
You know, on this show,
so active on
I told Tamaima, even Willie Paul was sitting there, but that guy from Gaborone is sitting there. I said, this boy, he would do his exams. Yeah. And some people said I'm being a hater. I had said, do I know Willie Paul?
Yeah.
Vile nimemjua miaka hii.
Vile umemsoma.
That boy.
Hakufanya. So it's the word is that he skipped.
Yeah. Those close to him were saying he's actually even flaunting his visa. And stuff like that.
Okay.
So you don't have a living certificate. Sorry, but he'll have a visa.
The rest of his life.
You guys he'll have a CV when he's looking for a job. He'll be like, where's your liver certificate? He'll be like, liver certificate. New Jersey visa. Visa and your
represent.
Yeah.
Okay, the Nairobian guys, before our time runs out, the headline, Nairobi's rich married hookers. And revealed moneyed wives turn to prostitution for pleasure. So the complaint here, or rather the feeling among these women, is that what? They're not getting this satisfaction. They're rich, they're married, but there's something missing. So they decide to...
Is a thrill angle, perhaps?
Thrill angle.
Yeah, I've got a theory. Yeah?
I'm sure it's crazy.
No, it's not. It's a true theory. It's a hypothesis, but it's an authentic one.
Right.
Their chicks were already langas early. They're already hookers. Yeah.
It's already
you meet them. There are girls who ask me, you know some Jungu friends. You find like a chick, she's serious. Do you know a nice German or Canadian or what? Already somebody who's thinking like that is already a hooker. So when you hook up with that German, kwanza those ones who travel. That chick, there's nothing that German can give her. Yeah? Just the hook.
It's called the separation of issues. You are there to attend to my social and financial security. But I still remain whom I am.
Exactly. There are harlot in the harlot is in the blood.
While this report is talking about their husbands don't know, but isn't it then a vicious cycle? Because for you to be cheating and doing this kind of activities without your husband knowing, that means he's not paying attention, and that means he's also busy doing something else somewhere, with other people. So then it's this vicious cycle now?
True.
Yeah?
I hadn't thought of it that way.
Yeah, because honestly, if your wife is going around sleeping with other men, if you're not paying attention here, we wouldn't notice. But if you are,
what if you're busy?
Because money also.
What if you're busy trying to provide for her lifestyle?
Although there are also men, Sophia, you both have got a point that Indiana's, because there are men also who with the money and everything, they also start here. You're right, they're also running around. Wanasema bibi yuko nyumbani, wamemlipia spa na gym, anayechukua pesa ya shopping, so that they can also have their own little mipango ya kando.
And I'm sure if you were ever to be arrested, Smith, I don't know if you've been arrested, you'd want to be arrested by one of these ladies on page 3 of the Nairobian today. Aren't they pretty? City beauties, arresting looks. That look just, they're so beautiful.
Number 2 can put me in handcuffs.
And number 2,
number 2.
Which one wins it for you? Which number? They're all numbered here.
Number 2. Number 2 handcuffs.
I think I can't. Still uniforms, arrest.
Uniform.
It's an arrest interesting look. The look itself makes you go into those. Bring the cufflinks on.
You know, Ndore is refusing to comment,
Because
he slept in a police station last night. He was at the Thika police post. I'm sorry, I just have to. That's why you were late for the show. I had to go and bail him out.
Bail him out. There's a story that's highlighted on the top page, and I want us to look at it because it has more and more been eliciting conversations in the country. And it's about, on the top page it said, meet city's flashiest pastors and what the wealthy men and women of God say about their lifestyle. So the details, of course, on page 28 and page 29 is the capital feature. And so Bishop Kathy Kiuna quoted here as saying, God wants us to be prosperous in every single way. His desire for us is to walk in abundance. I am praying for church people to show the likes of Bill Gates dust. Trust Smita.
No. You know, these are idiots. I always say, and I've warned the people. These are the people who start telling you that I'm seeing you.
I'm seeing you on telly.
Yeah, of course you're seeing me on telly. It's KTN. It's country.
Okay, that's another one. You have so many idiots. You have a knack for it.
No.
Very annoying.
No. First, let's
wait, that's a weapon, eh?
This is a
Someone
weapon.
annoys you just.
The
only thing you've lost is the SIM
people
card.
just grab
The
it
only
because
thing
it's
you've lost
best
is
to
the
have
SIM
this
card.
one, the Mulikamuzi. Azima in the meantime, now that we'll continue watching you.
Me, I'm a humble man, a humble child of God. This is why my phones are cheap. Like Jesus was poor. To go back to our story, if Jesus was living today, he would have a phone like this.
No.
Are you really laughing at my Samsung?
No, first it's that it went off when we were just talking. Then you're saying people are your enemies. Okay, let's talk about the story, gentlemen. So, of course, we're seeing more and more of these men and women of God, living.
Honestly, okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, let me just.
How many of them?
Put it off now.
How many of them?
Put it off. Can I help you?
Okay. I'm just scared it will never come on again.
But that's a possibility.
Honestly, that's my fear. Like
now you've forgotten your pin.
I think you're crazy. Okay. Is it off?
Yeah, it's off. It may never come on again.
Don't worry, we'll remove the SIM card and get another one. And they're like 1,000 shillings.
Yeah, they're like 1,050
shillings. The SIM card is competing in price with the phone.
All right, so Meet City's flashiest pastors. A lot of Kenyans getting concerned. They go there hoping that their lives will be nourished spiritually. But really, is there a problem with a man or a woman of God being wealthy or living it up?
What you've just said, the first statement you said, a lot of Kenyans are going there. That's where the problem is.
Yeah. Where? That they're going to church?
No, not going to church. These people, they're Pandabego people.
Yes.
You're going there to say that day. They're not forcing you to come to their churches.
Yeah.
It's you going.
Wanajipeleka.
That's what the problem is. Yeah. We live in a country where it's like instant coffee.
Shortcut.
Instant coffee. You want just throw in a few spoons of sugar and you have coffee. You don't brew it. Yeah. So religion, you don't pray, you don't fast, you don't do those things. I'm not very religious myself.
Clearly,
but you want to panda begu. I'm sick. Let me panda begu ya 310.
No.
What's going on? That's what it's okay. My phone, if you send me more than 1,000 bob, it will explode. But the pastors will be there, including on television, like right now, telling you that you'll be rich like them. It's a vicious cycle. But it's you stupid sheep, who are turning these people into multi-millionaires.
But
it's
why
like
is there a problem for them? Are you saying that they should be poor so that now their message is more believable? We're all in the same boat, and so we feel, you're so spiritual. Why? Because you cannot live in a nice house, you cannot drive a good car. Is that is that the message we're trying to put out there? No. That if a preacher is living the life we'd want, in essence, that's bad, because now we are supporting that and we are being, as you're calling them, that word is bad. You should take it back.
It's silly sheep. Okay, sheep brains.
Okay.
Yeah, because these are very, as Jesus said, Jesus himself, he was a bit of, he didn't have a house, he used to wander from here to here. I'm not saying they should be wandering like Nyumba Kumi and staying in Nyumba Kumi or anything, but there's a certain level of, there's only one word for it, ostentatiousness.
Right.
Yeah? Another ostentatious lifestyle, which they flaunt as an aspirational model. So Sophie's there. You are told that, yeah, you'll become even more famous and, you know, raise even more if you give 10 and then 20%. Kwanza someone like you, they bring you, you know, they bring you to the church.
Actually, the most annoying bit about it is initially the things like tithe and all that, and you know, give what God has given you.
Right.
Nowadays, they've gone to the level where they actually telling you how much. You know, it's like you know, it's like a profession. It's not a calling anymore. It's like there you go to a profession. It tells you, for me to do that, I'll charge you 10,000. I'll charge you 20,000. So it tells you your problem. Bwana ametoroka. Amefanya hivi na hivi. Hiyo shida yako.
I think as we wind up on that one, I think we will just agree that those are your opinions on these people. Personal, what you have said.
Me, I don't say a swimming pool. They're not opening schools for children. When you just build yourself palatial, when you build yourself palatial residences, put in swimming pools, drive motorbikes.
But how do you know they're not doing that? Maybe they're not just shouting about it. Maybe they're doing it.
Oh, so they're screaming about the ostentatious
lifestyles.
They're
not screaming about it. You're the one screaming about it. The people who are writing it, you know their lives, they talk about it.
It's there. It's there.
Those guys, there's one.
You look like you attend one of those.
No, I'm not. Oh my God.
Are you defending your part? Are you pandering?
I'm trying to find balance here, gentlemen. I'm trying to find balance.
There's one who was actually flaunting a new Range Rover. It's there.
It's there.
It's on record.
Okay. Me have had to move from here.
When you're cheering this guy, you're the ones who paid for that trip.
Paid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They can find out more details.
Jesus used to drive a donkey.
Right.
Used to drive a donkey.
Okay. Let's finally look at Heads Up. Okay, finally in Heads Up today. You guys are so crazy. Several stories here. There's one that are Nigerians out to, quote, destroy Churchill. And actually I was interviewing a Nigerian yesterday. There's a night of 1,000 laughs that's happening, and we have Nigerians and all different nationalities coming in for that. And so a year ago, comedian Daniel Ndambuki hit the headlines after a group of shadowy characters apparently tried to con him through blackmail, and remember that story. So what's this? Churchill made these claims after Heads Up asked him about rumors that he had recently acquired property in Nyali. Yeah?
Yeah.
How are they trying to destroy him? The Najos.
Me, I know Nigerians are just out to destroy Kenyans.
Is it as issue of like conflict of interest?
And to steal our women. Yeah.
Kama, if you cannot keep your women, they'll steal them.
I don't think
Nigerians steal everything.
Okay, details are there. Then there's Joy Musengi left Twitter over TPF bullying.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, what happened? I remember seeing a tweet and somebody had retweeted about her just saying that as long as you're not paying my rent, then I don't care what you have to say about something. It's unfortunate. Why is the bullying happening?
Okay, I think with all this social media stuff, especially if you're out there in the public, at some point you need to develop some thick skin. You have to develop some thick skin because people will come at you, and you can't help it.
Yeah, you can't run away.
What is the problem? What's wrong? What
initially?
Have a problem with?
Okay, what I know is initially when she started, when she did TPF, it was an abrupt change. People had gotten accustomed to Sheila. Yeah. She's different. She was doing it for the first time, so at least she came off a bit, maybe a bit tense, and. Sheila and Joey perhaps are two observed, and they are very different characters. Joey, I remember in Capsule, she was a hip hop girl. So here she's trying to be more.
Sheila's Miss Easy.
Yeah, you know.
She's girl next door.
Yeah.
No, it's okay.
One is
there's so many.
Guys were just used to Sheila.
Yeah.
And right
the
now,
change was just
people just came out and like
started hating.
You want Sheila back? Yeah. Typical.
Oh my.
Sheila back. At least give her a chance. Let her do it 2, 3, 4, 5 times. If you still don't like her, then maybe.
But it's so sad.
It's like, let's say, you know how Ambo today was offering tea. Then another morning there's no tea. Then there's coffee. So you drink the coffee, then you start complaining about tea.
Yeah. But it's unfortunate also what we're seeing with our social media. It's more and more being used for such, negative messages being put out there, the bullying, the hate. Really, you'll see it more and more. It's unfortunate, and it will get to you. I think everyone is human. If constantly all the messages coming through are, you know, you're ugly, or you're not as good, or you're not this. As much as you could tell at the beginning, she was getting the messages, but was trying to put in, you know, a strong face and be there and continue. But
those celebs should come for me, eh? To learn how to have a thick skin. Eh?
Yeah.
Me, over the past 10 years, even Doria knows, you develop the skin of an alligator. You know, those guys who are bullying you on Twitter, yeah. See, and then they get a beer brand somewhere.
Most of them, actually, for them, social media is a cover.
Yeah.
They cannot come out.
That anonymity gives them the strength to.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like once you understand that, I'm dealing with a coward.
Yeah, why don't they put their real names? You put Peter and Doria. And
instead of saying at walls.
At walls. What's at walls?
At trees.
Supermnoma.
Me always imagine them as people in their underwear somewhere.
Oh my God.
On their phone, just hating somewhere in a dark bedroom, sitting in an underwear and a torch.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I envision them.
And so JB and Tina are going to the Maldives honeymoon. That's what the Nairobian
is
reporting.
That's what the Nairobian says.
Okay.
Of course, now we already know they got married some time back. And actually, the rationale was this. Tina has a daughter whom JB wants to adopt legally. Part of the reason they did the ceremony was that.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're planning. So they wanted to get the formality bit off the table first. Then the ceremony can come later.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, you've really made me laugh and crack up this morning. Thank you for taking us through what the story is making headlines today in the Nairobi and in the Pulse. Everybody grab yourself a copy. Amazing stories, crazy stories, and your thoughts. My world. Yeah.
You know, I'm hoping, I'll take this quick opportunity.
Yes, please.
I'm hoping that I know you'll come from a book launch.
Yes. Tell us about that very quickly.
It's on Wednesday.
Yeah,
and it's a book launch for Meet the Mtitas.
Yes.
I'm not giving you a free copy. It's only 300 bob.
Okay, so your book, Meet the Mtitas?
Yeah, it's being launched on Wednesday.
Where?
Chester House, the Penthouse.
The Penthouse.
Yeah.
Is it open to everybody?
No.
Oh, it's not? Oh, okay. No, you've told them.
Why don't I have an invite?
We'll have what we are read.
All right, so of course after you've launched it next Friday, we can have a look at what you're having in there. Thank you both, Peter, Smita, for taking us through. It is now 8:40 a.m. Those tunes and watch her. International jazz maestro right now with me on set from Botswana. Karibu sana. Karibu is welcome.
Asante.
Asante. Good. I see you've gathered a few words. So tell us about that song we're watching just now.
That song is called Lerato. It's the title track to my album.
Right.
Lerato. And it means love. Lerato means love, and that's the theme of the album.
Okay.
Basically.
Yeah.
It's all about different stages and different types of love.
But you, in the video, the emotion that is coming forth, what we're seeing, you look very sad, you're crying. What love is, where is that coming
It's a kind of love for acceptance, for yearning for acceptance.
Okay.
That kind of love. So, he's asking for love.
Yeah.
Okay, and acceptance.
And acceptance.
And respect.
And respect.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is what everybody should be awarded, really. Accorded.
Yeah.
Dignity, love, respect. Yeah.
All right. You are in Kenya. Tell us about your visit. Is it your first time to the country?
Yes, it's my very first time here. I am here to support a very good cause that I believe in. This is on behalf of Brand and Ambassador and of the Botswana High Commission to support the Color Coiffes Foundation.
Right.
And this is a foundation whose cause I really believe in, and I'm glad to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Because growing up as a kid, you know, there was a lot of stigmatization around albinism.
Yes.
And so why not? Things have changed, I think, for the better where I come from, but in Botswana, but it is still a bit sad to know that you do get these random attacks on people with
albinism.
With albinism.
Okay, is it the first time you are involved in this kind of a campaign, or back at home, have you been involved in this kind of work before?
I've been involved in several causes.
Okay.
Right now, we're trying to raise funds for one of the oldest children's foundations called Masiela, and Masiela means orphans. I have also been part of Sponsor a Child. Now, Sponsor a Child is all about it's an umbrella. It's a mother foundation, and there are a lot of foundations under it that benefit. So what happens is that eligible donors donate money to Sponsor a Child, and it goes to different things towards raising a child.
All right, so Color Coiffes, and you've talked about other, events and causes that you are supporting. What gets you to do that? Is it, just a desire to really offer that helping hand? Because it must come from somewhere. Where does it come from?
Do you know what? To be quite honest with you, these are causes that found me.
Wow.
I didn't go out looking for them. But at some point when you do what I do, you realize that it also comes with a certain responsibility. And part of that responsibility is to go out there and help out when and if you can. And that's just the order of the day. Yeah.
But I like that you said they found you. But in most cases, there will be these opportunities to participate and be involved in such causes, but they choose not to. But that you choose to accept when they come to you, you choose to be involved. What motivates that? What drives you to?
From a very young age, I've been doing music since I was 9. Yeah. And from a very young age, I realized that this is, first of all, a gift and a blessing and a calling. So that if I believe so much that it is, and I believe in the destiny that it has for me, then therefore I should embrace whatever is positive that I can do with it.
Right.
So it stems off from that.
From that.
Yes.
Tell us about your music. How would you describe your music? The kind of music you do, the kind of songs you've sung and written?
Well, I just write songs, Sophia.
Do you wake up and okay, or what motivates you? What gets you started on a song?
I don't know. It could be a random melody. Could be words. And, could be syllables of words more specifically. Or it could be another song.
Okay. You listen to another song and it inspires you to write another song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Okay. So you've sung about love. What else?
Well, I sing about love, about there's a couple of songs there about Tswana folk tales, like Kohomudumo, for example. Kohomudumo is a dinosaur,
right?
And it's entrenched in Tswana mythology, and it's all about this dinosaur or dragon that came to eat a whole village. Now, I'm using that as a metaphor for the for any scourge, really, any pandemic. Could be AIDS, it could be what this beautiful nation has just gone through, for example. And I'm likening that demise that a village suffered after being eaten by a huge dragon or a dinosaur to this scourge.
Okay. All right, we must wind up, unfortunately. I understand we need to be crossing over to a live event we have in a short while, but take us through what is happening on Saturday. You're involved in this Color Coiffes. Of course, the Standard Group Media Limited is the sole sponsor of this. We're very much involved in this. We've done stories on the same and the plight of persons with albinism. So what should people expect at this concert? It's called Joy of Jazz Concert.
His Excellency John Muriti, the High Commissioner of Botswana to Nairobi, to Kenya, is the host of this event. 2,000 gets you in, and 3,800 for a VIP ticket. And this takes place at Emerald Hotel, and we start off at 6 p.m. until We're gonna party way until 2 a.m.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, until 2 a.m. Okay, that's good. So guys should come out 2,038 for those
for the VIP
for the VIP
tickets. Yes.
And of course the part
and
of
that
the
includes
proceed.
dinner.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
that's
VIPs.
good. That's
Yes.
good. Okay. Thank you so much, Shanti.
Thank you
for
very much,
being part
Sophia.
of the show. I
It was
look
a
forward
pleasure.
to coming and seeing you perform.
Oh, we'd love to have you there.
Yeah? All right. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Shanti Law, a renowned jazz performer. We've just seen some of her music there playing, and she will be performing exclusively this Saturday. Her first time in Kenya. He's from Botswana. Will be performing this Saturday at the Emerald, 6 p.m. Botswana High Commissioner has organized that concert. It's called Joy of Jazz. And really, part of the proceeds are going to the Color Face campaign. You've seen that the Standard Group Limited has been the sole media sponsor for that as well. A worthy cause, raising awareness on the plight of persons with albinism, and also just those funds going to buy sunscreens that are much needed by this group of people, a special group in our society. So you can go 2,000. It is 3,800 for the VIP seats. Part of that is dinner as well, as we've heard. And remember, the proceeds are going for a worthy cause, and you get to enjoy a good evening with great music. Shanti Law will be entertaining everybody. So look forward to seeing you there. Intend to be part of that, of course. Thank you for watching Morning Express, 8:55 a.m. on this, thank God, it's Friday, 8th of November. Okay, have a fab weekend. Bye.